Thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon as we get ready to roll here, Haskett, for Southern Oregon. What's important for the Raiders to get started early?
Well, you don't have to go too far into Montana Tech's history. So if you're Southern Oregon as an offense, know that Montana Tech, admittedly so, struggled on defense. That was one of their focuses in the offseason, right? Getting some more depth. Maybe, just mainly more depth in that defensive front. And when I say the front, not just the front 3 or 4, that front 7. And they went out and did that. But Southern Oregon doesn't have to look too far back. College Idaho had a nice day offensively against this Montana Tech defense. But College Idaho threw the ball really well last weekend. And so we mentioned Southern Oregon really likes to run the ball. They got Yates, and you're going to see a lot of him. So I think they're, regardless, are going to try to establish that running game early.
Great return up the left side. Daylight off to the races is Levi Torgerson. Torgerson to the house. Levi Torgerson, there are no flags. Torgerson takes it to the house. Touchdown, Montana Tech.
How long has it been since we've seen a returned kickoff for a touchdown at Montana Tech?
Hold on, I've got that information. I do believe
special teams, and you don't combine or conflate all the special teams, kickoff, PAT cover, whatever. But special teams is special teams, and they answered after last week's blunder at the end of that game.
Levi Torgerson takes it to the house. The last time Montana Tech returned to kickoff for a touchdown was Mark Estes. He did it, let me check here, against Eastern Oregon in 2021.
2020. I was going to say 3 years ago. That was when he first got here.
Right when he first got here. Yeah, and I think it was early in the season, too.
I was hoping to run into him in Nashville a couple weeks ago, but I didn't. Thought maybe we could line dance together or something.
You thought he was going to hook you up or something?
No, I don't need a hookup. I was with the hookup.
Oh, my. So a penalty on the PAT. We'll try it one more time. Levi Torgerson takes it to the house. Great breakaway speed by Levi down the sideline. So just like that, Montana Tech jumps on the board first.
I can't imagine how excited his older brother Kyle, who is essentially done for the year, is what I'm told. A great tenure here at Montana Tech. Played the extra year or two, everything he could to help out this football team, and injured now, but I can't even imagine how excited Kyle is for his younger brother who stepped off the basketball team to come play in his absence last year and to make a big play like that to start this football game.
Well, so Montana Tech goes up 7-0 here, just like that. Levi Torgerson takes it to the house, and Montana Tech is on the board 13 seconds in.
Not a bad 100 with the football in your hand.
No
That's
joke.
13 seconds with a little bend in it. Right? Did I do the math right there?
I was impressed. I mean, that his breakaway when he got to the edge, no one was catching up to him. So Levi Torgerson, as you mentioned, came to Montana Tech as a basketball guy. Last year stepped in, played football. I mean, he's all-state football. He played in the Shrine Game, if memory serves correct. First team all-state in football and basketball, and obviously came in last year, played football and basketball, and he's going to be playing basketball again this year. And from my understanding, he's going to be seeing a lot of time in basketball this year.
Now, obviously, he's fast, right?
Yeah.
But early in the season, I'm in contact with Coach Torgerson a lot. We text a lot, call a lot.
Yeah.
And he said something about time 20 or time 40s in the preseason. And he mentioned Kyle and Levi. And I said, well, who had the better time? He didn't answer it. He just answered with a smiling or laughing emoji.
Yeah.
And I said, well, and he goes, Levi's not fast. So I thought that's really funny. Now he comes out and outruns the whole football field. That might just show you how fast the older brothers are.
So as we get ready to roll on the other side, Asciutto will bring them out at quarterback. Let's talk about Asciutto at quarterback. He is a senior. He's hit 67% of his passes, 64 and 96 for 963 yards, getting about 240 yards a game, 8 touchdowns, 1 interception. And, of course, in the backfield with him is Gunnar Yates, the nation's leading running back of the NAIA ranks.
4-man front to start this show.
Cleveland in motion. Yates gets the carry. He gets swallowed up, a short gain of 2. So the defensive front collapses on him as Yates with the carry.
Yeah, tough to tell who was over there. It looked like Wyatt DeVos there at end stood his lead blocker up.
I'm with you on that. I think it was DeVos. Great Falls, obviously very prevalent in the Montana Tech front and linebacker core.
DeVos and Oaks, and there's a guy that's really stepped up. I make sure he's in the game before I start talking about TJ a whole ton.
2nd down and 8 out of the shotgun. Asciutto. And the handoff, play action. Downfield, almost picked off. Angel Sanchez, I think it surprised him, but it looked like it was going to hit him right in the face mask.
Angel gave a little ground there and came out of his back pedal, made an aggressive move, but he was going to the receiver, right? He realized that, oh, shoot, he ran a stick route or a stop route. I've got a break on this ball, and the thing hit him right in the middle of the 0.
3rd down and 8. Crowd getting loud here in Butte, Montana. So 3rd down and 8. One back at home is Yates. Asciutto out of the shotgun.
You'll want to walk it. It seems Yates or Asciutto's #1 target has been Cleveland here as of late.
He has 19 catches on the year. Comeback route is caught, and that's going to be 1st down yardage by 1. They needed 8. They get 9, and with the reception is Trevor Jasko. Jasko out of Central Point, Oregon, a 6'2" sophomore, will move the chains for the Raiders. Ball at the 36-yard line. Montana Tech defensively, 4-man front. Handoff going to go to Yates. Puts his head down, and he gets swallowed up. No gain. Defensive front again holds.
91 and 99. That's a tough load. That's Oaks and DJ Brown, who he met in that defensive front. And that's good, right? Those guys both have knuckles in the ground. So what's that tell you on that inside zone? They're beating blocks at the line of scrimmage. Their hands are free. They're on their feet and able to make tackles at the line of scrimmage. Usually those D-front guys just want to eat up blockers.
2nd down and 10 here for the Raiders. Yates in the backfield. 3 receiver spread. Yates will now flare out to the right side. Airs it up, pass complete. Great defense. That's going to be a gain of 2 is all. As they swing the pass out on the far side, and with the reception out there is going to be Jackson Clemmer, and the tight end.
That's McNeil coming up from safety to make the hit. You know, just staying on top of the route. It was a small route, right? Quick little 3-4 yard out. But before he could get his pads turned vertical, McNeil was into him. Flattened him, you know, just for about a 1 yard gain, 2 yard gain.
Asciutto and Clemmer, rather, both coming out of Camas, both paper makers. Camas High School. 3rd down and 8. One back at home. Montana Tech showing a little pressure. They'll just bring 4. Stepping up, he'll drop it off underneath. Pass is complete. 1st down yardage and a whole lot more. Across the 40, 35, down to the 29-yard line. He swung it out to Gunnar Yates. He had daylight. And Gunnar Yates will move the chains deep into Montana Tech territory as he'll go down at the 28-yard line of the Orediggers.
Good job of protection by the Raiders up front. It gave Asciutto a chance to look at number 1, 2, and 3, and then a great check down to Yates. Yates hasn't caught a ton of balls this year. He hasn't caught anything for 6, but you know, that's a great job, a real mature move by Asciutto, going check, 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 get it to my back. Obviously, nobody out there to account for Gunnar Yates, and he's able to pick up a big chunk.
Empty. Now stepping into the backfield is going to be Hidalgo. And Hidalgo will get the carry. He bounces left, switches hands. He's inside the 20, down to the 15 as he's shoved out of bounds. Hidalgo will move the chains again here for the Raiders. That's going to be a pickup of 14. And the Raiders continuing to march down the field. Montana Tech leading 7-0 after an opening kickoff return.
Legitimate second option there at tailback. Isaiah Hidalgo, 5'8", 175-pounder, coming in behind Gunnar Yates, and the offense really not missing a beat.
1st down and 10 at the Montana Tech 15-yard line. Asciutto out of the shotgun. Staying in the backfield is Hidalgo. Tight end left, receiver on each side. And the handoff, play action. They're going to air it up left side. Almost picked off, but what a great catch on the far side is Clemmer, the tight end again. Clemmer I believe their second leading receiver coming into this at tight end. He's able to make the catch as that one nearly picked off again.
Well, that's McNeil there. Yep. You know, he's trying to step in front of that ball. Now, granted, he misses it, but sometimes you get a little ball hungry as a defensive back and you want to stay on your feet and make a play. You know, sometimes you just got to get horizontal, get that thing knocked away, and, you know, live to see another play. You know, he takes a chance, stays on his feet. The ball's beyond his outstretched hands. They get the completion to 2nd and 2 when that ball very well could have been knocked away had he left his feet.
2nd and 2 from the Montana Tech 8-yard line. Handoff is going to go right side to Yates. He's inside the 5, keeps his balance, fighting down to the 2-yard line. He gets horse collar down to the ground.
Yeah, we'll
Late
see.
flag.
Might be a hand on the face mask here as the Tech defense got him to the ground. We'll see what it is. Flag came awful late.
Yeah. See what we get from our white hat here. Again, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision.
Personal foul, face mask on the defense. Number 9, at the distance of the goal. Automatic
So
first
personal
down.
foul face mask will bring it down to the 2-yard line. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. Full house backfield. Actually, Wildcat has taken the direct snap. Is going to be Yates. Gunnar Yates will take the direct snap. As he wants to go off tackle left, spins, gets to the goal line, and he gets in. So Yates will break the goal line. He'll get in for his 12th rushing touchdown of the year. And Gunnar Yates brings the Raiders within 1 of Montana Tech.
Yeah, just a full house. I mean, realistically, in that setup, all you can hope for Montana Tech defensively, you know, you need maybe a big play in the backfield, but more somebody that's maybe not comfortable taking the snap, mishandling the snap, and getting them for a loss of yardage there. But
they're going to go, they run this kind of swing and gate look here. They run all the offensive linemen across. Now they're going to shift. And we will see the kicking unit step in and attempt the PAT here. 10:05 left to play in the opening quarter. Montana Tech leading 7-6. The Raiders looking to tie it up. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. So we're tied 7-all here on the campus of Montana Tech. The Raiders' offense taking the ball down the field for points. We'll see if Montana Tech's offense gets to get on the field here in just a few minutes.
Won't.
Maybe they won't. You never know. 7-7 our score with the timeout on the field. We'll take one as well. Ladies and gentlemen, we're back to the Bob Green Field, Alumni Coliseum after this. Hey, we're back here once again at the campus of Montana Tech. It's homecoming, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready to roll. And Montana Tech's kicking unit, or rather return unit, is back awaiting the kickoff. Southern Oregon, a really nice offensive series that time. As they go 10 plays, 74 yards. And to get the points on the right side, turning it upfield with the return is JoJo Wallace. JoJo Wallace across the 40, 45, 50. JoJo down the sideline, and he goes out of bounds. JoJo Wallace.
He's still running.
He helped me. He came up and sat in with us as we did play-by-play for volleyball on Thursday night. I love JoJo. Will be in the backfield. With him is Lander Smith. Levi Torgerson goes in motion. He's looking at Levi the whole way. Curl route back, gets the pass. Levi up across the 50 and no more. Just across midfield. That's going to be a gain of 7. Bring up 2nd down and 3 here for the Digs.
Good job by Blake Thelen rolling out. He, you know, if there's one tendency I've seen out of Blake in a couple of these games, whether I've watched him on the internet or watched him live, is he's starting to stare down receivers. But he did a nice job of looking deep, looking to 1-2, and coming back to Levi for the safe outlet.
Quick snap, handoff going to go to Landers. Landers head down, goes nowhere. He's going to lose a yard. Lander Smith gets chopped down here on the near side.
Defensive back, 5'9", 175-pound Dylan Daniels coming up and getting into Lander Smith's legs here on the edge. He's the right side cornerback, but nice job. You know how I love those cornerbacks that'll stick their nose in and make tackles, and Daniels does a nice job there, shortening that edge. Outside arm free, making the tackle.
3rd down and 4 here for the Digs. 3 receivers out, 2 to the right, 1 to the left. In motion, Wyatt Alexander. He had 217 yards receiving a week ago. 4-man rush across the middle. Pass is caught and gets tripped up. It's going to be a gain of 2. And with the reception, Logan Kennedy at tight end. That's going to bring up 4th down and 2 at the Raider 49-yard line.
It's only a yard difference, but I don't like that spot there. Who's our tight end?
Landers. No, not Landers. Excuse me. It's Logan Kennedy.
Excuse me. Kennedy reaches and makes the catch at the 48-yard line and gets hit and driven back and lands at the 49. He should get that forward progress. It's a yard at this point is a huge difference.
The offense stays 4th down and 2, and the Raiders are going to call a timeout.
He should get that yard. That's where the catch started. That's where he made contact and secured the ball, was at the 48.
8:07 left to play here in the first quarter. We're tied up 7-all. Frontier Conference action here. 2 ranked teams, Southern Oregon, number 7 in the country. Montana Tech, number 16 in the country.
It sounds like I'm splitting hairs, but I am standing right on the 48-yard line.
As of right now, let's see here. For Southern Oregon, 10 offensive plays, 74 yards. Asciutto was 4 of 5 for 52. And Hidalgo had 1 carry for 13. Thelen on the other side right now, 2 for 2 for 9 yards. As the team's huddling up here. So we'll see what the Digs come out with here. They ran up to the line of scrimmage on 4th and 2. Does the offense stay out, or do they bring in first-team All-American Andrew Olmos to try and knock it down into coffin corner?
I'm not going to say I like the decision if they do go for it. I think it's I'm fighting for that yard, right, verbally. I think if it's a yard, yes. I think if it's 2 yards here, I punt the ball. But Lander Smith back there, I just don't know. They're going to run a bunch at him here to the wide side, so you're going to see, like, run off, bend in, and somebody – maybe on and out. Now they're going to bunch them up on the right side, and we'll see. 4th
and 2, heavy to the right, handoff, play action. They're going to run it out here to the tight end, wide open. Logan Kennedy off to the races. 20, 15, Kennedy with a stiff arm. Down to the 5, knocked out of bounds at the 3.
He couldn't wait to get that stiff arm in.
Could not.
He winded that thing up for 15 yards.
That's a tremendous play call. Everything is going right. They come back here to the
field by Blake Thelen.
So the offense up here, 1st and goal, handoff. Boy, not much there again as Landers gets hauled in right at the line of scrimmage. That'll bring up 2nd and goal from the 4.
Do you get the sense that both defenses prepared this week for Landers Smith and Gunnar Yates?
Geez, I can't imagine why.
But you got to keep at it, right? You got to keep at it. We talk about that all the time. It's going to be smack, 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 and then stuff's going to break once in a while.
1 back, 3 receivers tight. Now they're going to move twin tight. And actually, Kennedy's going to line up in the backfield. Receiver on each end of the formation. Handoff is going to go to Lander Smith. He'll pound it ahead down to the 2. Gain of 2.
You mentioned the comparison with Gunnar Yates to Nolan Saraceni. And when I think of Nolan Saraceni, I think of that day at Carroll College, those 4 touchdowns. But what gets lost in that day was there were a lot of runs for 1 or 2 or minus 1 or 2 yards. He just happened to break 1 for 33, 1 for 11 or 13, 1 for 80, and 1 for 99.
Yeah, I was going to say.
Because they stuck with it.
Yep. 6:35 left to play here in this first quarter. We're tied up 7-all. Montana Tech knocking on the door. The Digs bring the offense up. Blake Thelen, 1 back at home. Receiver on each side of the formation. Thelen, play action, looking left across the middle, wide open. Touchdown, Montana Tech. They go to the tight end in the back of the end zone, and the Digs will grab the lead back 13-7 over Southern Oregon with 6:16 left to play. Take a look at the replay.
I think that's Pierce, isn't it? Or is it Logan?
I think it kind of looks like Pierce from here. And I can't even get a number on the replay.
Boy, those numbers are tough to see. The orange and white numbers are plastered against the black jersey.
Down inside the Case IH red zone. Take a look at the replay there as a great pitch and catch. The kick is up. And the kick is good. Montana Tech leading 14-7.
Landon Barthel.
Immediate timeout.
We are making our way through this opening quarter. 6:16 left to play in this first quarter. It looks like we're not getting a media, so we'll go ahead and hold on to it right here.
Sorry about that. It was Derek Pierce. I had to wait till it was within the cheating ability of my reading glasses to see.
Boy, and that's, you get a guy like Pierce catching the football, that opens up a world of opportunities because, coming into this year, they obviously have a really good tight end group, but Pierce is kind of the blocking tight end. He's big, physical, he's really strong, and that's usually when you see him is in blocking situations. So the idea of not only being an exceptional blocker, but if you have good hands that you can rely on, right. That's going to open a whole lot of possibility. 6:16 left to play here in this opening quarter. Montana Tech leading 14-7. Blake Thelen is 4 of 4 for 57 yards. Logan Kennedy, 3 catches for 50 yards.
Sorry to go silent on you. I was seeing if anybody was sending any score updates from anywhere else.
So the Digs ready to kick it away here. Southern Oregon's offense will get another go. They had a very nice offensive series last time. 10 plays, 74 yards, 7 points. And this one will go out the back of the end zone. So good to see as they hammer it through the back of the end zone. No return possible. And they'll start things off out at the 25. So Southern Oregon, Asciutto at quarterback. He's 4 of 5 for 52 yards thus far.
We'll see if this Montana Tech defense learned anything in that first series. That Southern Oregon did what they do. They tried to run the ball, got a couple big chunk plays via the passing game, but all in all, this Montana Tech defense looks fairly prepared against this offense early on. They had maybe a couple of assignment errors on that first series, and they paid for it. But this is a high-powered offense, and it's going to be tough to keep kind of under wraps today.
First down and 10 here for the Raiders. 1 back at home, 3 receivers. Pitch goes left side to Yates. Yates trying to find the edge, and he does not get it. He's going to get swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain for Yates. Brings up 2nd and 10.
Yeah, that looked like Cole Wyant getting down there from middle linebacker, scraping down the line of scrimmage. Montana Tech's not doing anything too fancy on defense right now. Just a 4-man surface, active linebacker play, showing kind of a shell coverage, 2 safeties. I haven't watched to see how they're dropping out of there, if they're walking one up into an alley or if they're just playing, clouding a corner or whatnot. But, yeah, nothing too fancy. I haven't seen a lot of pressure, a lot of stunt packages, just playing them straight up.
2nd down and 10. Actually, they say 2nd and 9 officially. Yates will go in motion. He'll flare out to the right. Drop back pass. It's complete across the 30 to the 34-yard line with the reception is going to be Sawyer Cleveland. Cleveland, a graduate student out of Corvallis, Oregon, excuse me. Yellow. Brings up 3rd down and 1 here for the Raiders.
There, Montana Tech brought late pressure. I think that might have been Whitcomb that came late. They just brought a 5-man rush. Excuse me. Southern Oregon picked it up, and Asciutto was able to find, he's kind of been his go-to guy the last 2 or 3 games in Cleveland.
Back to the line of scrimmage, 3rd down and 1. Quick handoff, play action, slant route, and we're going to get that one knocked into the turf. Great job, Angel Sanchez, but a flag down on the far side of the field.
Yeah, so you're either going to get offsides here or possible movement or some kind of a shift change offensively. But that was a great play by Sanchez. He's in good position, defending the upfield shoulder and getting his downfield arm across to the football. But it looks like this may go against Montana Tech.
Let's see what we have here. So the white hat.
Legal motion on the offense, number 8. Penalties decline.
So they decline it. That's going to bring up 4th down here for the Raiders.
Their offense is still on the field here.
And now they're going to shift out.
Yeah, this is probably a wise decision.
Little deep. 4:49 left to play here in the opening quarter.
It's become so in vogue for teams to go for it on 4th down, 4th and short, and they always talk about the metrics and all this stuff. I don't know. I don't always agree with it. And I would say, when you look at it and say they shouldn't do this or they should do this, I'm probably wrong more than I'm right, but you know me, I'll still voice my opinion.
Oh, I know. I'm very, very familiar with that. Snap to the punter is good. And we get whistles aplenty. It feels like that might have been snapped a little early.
Yeah. Penalty, 4th down.
Okay, so that'll benefit the Orediggers, one would assume.
See, now this is where I would fake it.
4th down and 6.
You know, you're worried about the fake on 4th and 1, right? But then they get the 5-yard penalty. You say, oh, they can't wait to kick this thing away. And then you run the fakesy on them.
Fakesy.
Fakesy.
4th and 6. Punting unit. Good snap. Little rollout. Kick is away. Levi gets everybody away. Takes a really good Southern bounce. That's going to die inside the 10 at the 9-yard line.
Unfortunately for Levi, that's a 65-yard punt. He's looking right into that sun. He cannot go field that. And you've heard me 1,000 times say field the punt, right?
Timeout.
But he is looking right into that Southern sun. And that's a guy who wants another return.
So we have a timeout on the field. So with that, we'll take one. Montana Tech leading 14-7. Their offense will get another go, ladies and gentlemen. We are here. It is Homecoming, sponsored by Nucor, and we're back after this. Welcome back here once again to Bob Green Field. You see the Nucor logo there. Of course, Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. They have sponsored our Homecoming now for several years, honestly, and just do a tremendous job. Always a great tailgate. And they certainly know the importance of Montana Tech grads. 1st down and 10 from the 10-yard line. Handoff is going to go to Landers. Landers bounces off a 1, fights his way out to the 15-yard line. There's Landers Smith.
Yeah, there's a little more of what he's used to. You know, he's always going to see contact, but they had a little space there at the line of scrimmage for him to move through and get his momentum going forward before he met contact, and that's where he gets really good.
2nd down and 5 here for the Digs. 3 receivers out wide to the right side. Ball at the 15-yard line. Smith in the backfield. Hard counts. Try to get him to jump. Now they'll change the play here as they come back to the line of scrimmage. Just under 4 minutes left to play here in this opening quarter. Hand off to Landers. He tries to get offside. He does so on the right angle. Good cut by Smith. He's inside the 30, 35, down to the 39-yard line. Tremendous run by Landers Smith. And he makes his way all the way out to the 39-yard line. Take a look at this run. Great footwork by Landers. We talk about the bruising aspect, but watch the footwork right here. He's like, whoop.
And then he's like, I got my feet. Now I'm going to go try and hurt someone. Watch this. Bang.
Our Case Construction instant replay. 3rd down and 10 here for the Digs at their 39-yard line. 3 receivers, split backs here for the Digs. And handoff is going to go to Landers again. Landers across the 45, out to the 49. That's very close, if not 1st down yardage.
What gets lost in his power and his ability just to run people over is his jump cuts and ability to move laterally. And you saw a little bit of it there. He just does a great job. I mean, he knows when to punish people and he knows when to run to daylight.
2nd and very short. You take a shot here to Wyatt. Wyatt Alexander split wide left.
They're going to give him the 1st down here. So, and yes, I would still take a shot to Wyatt.
I think I do at this point as well. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Split backs here for Blake Thelen. Tight end in motion. That's Logan Kennedy. Stops just off the edge. Hand off to Landers. Landers cuts back at the 45, 40, down to the 39-yard line. He obviously heard us talking about trying to throw the ball to Wyatt Alexander, so Landers Smith all of a sudden has opened himself up a can, and watch this run again by Landers. Just that great cut again.
There's always something I want to say, but I'm not going to say it to you if you remind me until the last game and the last series of the season.
All right. Landers Smith right now, 6 carries, 40 yards. Thank Jason on the replay. Tight end as Pierce goes to the left side. Man in motion. Out of the shotgun, Blake Thelen, play action, pressure coming. Blake gets away from it. He's rolling right, looking downfield, has all kinds of time, and just throws it away. I got cut up on that one, looking downfield to see what he had. He got away from a rusher and then just kind of was looking downfield for anything, and just not much there.
Well, he only had 2 guys in the route, and they were both kind of away from him. He had to escape the pocket to the wrong direction of where his receivers were possibly going to spring open. So he had to wait for, like a scramble rally out of his receivers and just didn't get it in time.
14-7 our score. Montana Tech with the lead over Southern Oregon. Raiders bring 4 up to the line of scrimmage. The Digs changing things up offensively. out of the shotgun. 2 receivers on each side of the formation. Blake Thelen, the senior quarterback, out of the shotgun, as I mentioned. Across the middle, pass is tipped and almost picked off. Hello, that was a tremendous play defensively that time, as getting up and getting a hand on it was Purcell. Iona Purcell, the linebacker, out of Hawaii.
Yeah, that's just a good pass drop out of the linebacker. Thelen didn't see him. They tried to get Alexander crossing the field on the dig route. And good linebacker play, inside linebacker play, if they know how to drop and, read windows and read quarterback's eyes. Purcell does a great job there. Almost got an interception. And, clearly Thelen wanted to get the ball to Alexander.
3rd down and 10, 3 receivers, 1 back. Blake Thelen, long snap count. Here comes the blitz. Picked up. Thelen wants the deep ball. There's no one out there. It's intercepted at the 3-yard line. And coming down with that pick, I do believe for the Raiders.
We got Laundry in the backfield. We'll see if it's a hold or maybe a late hit on the quarterback. But the way Thielen's reacting here, it may be a hold. But when it's all said and done, there's no receiver in the area. This is about as good as a punt could have turned out.
Truly. So Feifei gets the interception.
Big props to Nick Michelotti. They got mixed up on the communication, quarterback to receiver, but he was heads up enough to see the ball get intercepted and to go make the tackle inside the 5-yard line.
So that will give the Raiders the football down inside the 10. See where they're going to mark it here. It's at the 4, right?
3 or 4,
yep. So the 4-yard line, like you mentioned, a really good punt is what you're looking at there.
Yeah. You got to be smart defensively. Try and get a 3 and out here. Get the ball back in really good field position. You have to expect a lot of Gunnar Yates here as well. They got 2 tight ends.
Yep, 1 on each side of the formation. Asciutto out of the shotgun, 2 receivers on his right. Now man comes in motion. Lead blocker for Yates. He gets through the first level and leans forward for a gain of nearly 5. Good secondary push that time. Felt like his fullback got him in the backside and gave him a little shove. That's Glumbick. It looked like on paper as a linebacker.
Montana Tech's getting good deep front play. Trey Yates that time there in the middle at nose tackle or 1 or 3 technique there. He runs off the field, but they're disengaging up front. You see Sky Stefanik back in that defensive end, but they're disengaging and making that second level blocking for the Raider offense a little tougher.
2nd down at 5. Handoff going to go left side. Switching hands out on the edge. Downfield across the 20, 25, and out of bounds at the 28-yard line is Gunnar Yates. So Yates gets a little daylight, and he moves the chains here for the Raiders.
They actually had him stepping out at about just beyond the.
Back here once again to homecoming, brought to us by Nucor. Distinguished alumni being honored on the field. We will talk about them as this broadcast continues. Had a great night last night at the Butte Country Club.
Good to see Jenny Misgimmons. Is she the head of petroleum at Colorado School of Mines?
Colorado School of Mines.
Yeah, she was a volleyball player here when I was here. A great person. Just embodies everything that Montana Tech's all about. And, always a friendly face and somebody to visit with. Got to visit with her in the tailgate for a little bit.
Yeah, she was got a distinguished alumni, and also Scott Rosenthal is out there on the field. Scott Rosenthal in charge of the mining department here at Montana Tech. He and his bride, they bought a mucker with, they bought half of a mucker for Montana Tech last year. And I was lucky enough to be there when the kids saw it the first time. It was a tremendous night. Brand spanking new mucker, like a $500,000 rig, and on campus here. So those 2 individuals and more getting our distinguished alumni recognition last night. First, so the offense here for the Raiders. They're looking at 1st and 10 from their 23-yard line. Get a little windy here today. Wind's kind of shifting out of the northwest right now. And we're ready to roll. So Asciutto out of the shotgun. Asciutto, play action, lost it for a moment. And the comeback route is complete across the 33 to the 34-yard line. He hits his main man in, looked like, actually, Barthel with the reception.
Alignment and formation has become, if anybody that's watching the NFL, the illegal formation. And they're essentially saying that the tackles on the left or right side of the line of scrimmage are lining up in the backfield, right? I love that they're policing that at the NFL level. I wish they would police it here. If you look at Southern Oregon, their right tackle is in the backfield. No part of his helmet's crossing that center's rear end. And, boy, I'd like to see that formation stuff cleaned up a little bit.
First down and 10. Trips receivers right, one back at home. Montana Tech showing blitz. Here it comes. Hand off to Yates. Yates trying to get to the edge. He's across the 35-40. Good speed, 45-50. He's out to the 49-yard line. The ball comes out. The official goes down. It's going to be a pickup of about 17.
Yeah, the ball go out of bounds a little backwards there, I think. The ball's at the 48-yard line.
Now it looks like...
Oh, now they got it set up at the 48-yard line on the other side of midfield.
So 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. Nice run that time by Yates in the backfield. Yates, as of right now, that's his biggest run. 6 carries, 42 yards. 19-yarder there for him, his biggest of the afternoon. Montana Tech leading 14-7, just underway here in the second quarter. Trips receivers left. Little confusion, it looks like, by the receivers here on this near side for the Raiders. They're going to run option. Pitch goes to the deep back, turning it upfield, and just not going to get there. As with the carry is Hidalgo again, and he gets tripped up quickly by Peyton Gonzer.
Whitcomb does such a nice job of forcing the edge there. That time he took a chance. He took a step inside the block, and he kind of erred on his attempt to make the tackle. But he caused enough problem for Yates to have to swing wide again, and the pursuing tacklers were able to get him to the ground for a short gain. But yeah, it's nice to watch those edge players, the ones that really, really master it. You know when to take a chance and go inside, and know when to just contain, keep that outside arm free, and force everything inside you.
2nd and 9 from the Montana Tech 48-yard line. Dropping back, looking to throw. Asciutto has time, and the comeback route right at the sticks. Reception by Cleveland. And it looks like the spot is going to be just shy of the marker, doesn't it? 3rd down and less than a yard.
Yeah, got that one inside.
So 3rd and 1 here for the Raiders. Ball at the Montana Tech 39-yard. 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. They do get the first down. Ball at the Montana Tech 37. Again, thanks for joining us for Homecoming, brought to us by Nucor.
They're getting our new digital board switched a little late. They'll move the sticks before they change it from 3 to 1.
Yeah, they're pretty, though. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Man in motion here on the near side. Montana Tech brings 4 up to the line of scrimmage. Asciutto, Montana Tech brings 4 up to the line of scrimmage. Asciutto, the pocket is collapsing. They're going to run screen, and Yates gets himself a yard.
That's so good by Whitcomb out there. They got a blocker on Whitcomb. They had everything they wanted. The screen was set up nice and slowly. They got the ball delivered quickly to Yates. But Whitcomb beat a block, just beat a block. You know, they just they had what you'd call an unqualified blocker on him. He shed that, was able to make the tackle for no gain.
3rd down and 9 here for the Raiders. The Raiders on the season are 49% on 3rd down. Today they're 3 of 4.
This may be 2-down territory. We'll see what they do here on 3rd down, if they hand the ball to Yates or if they try and get it through the air.
Asciutto going to roll out of the pocket right. Yates clears down. He'll get the drop down pass. He gets hammered at the 31, and he'll go no further.
That is a nice hit out there. Gave no ground. See if we can get that number. Look like Whitcomb again.
Boy, Yates has taken some significant shots here in the first 20 minutes of this football game. Yates goes out. We'll see what kind of package we get here. 4th down and 5 for the Raiders. Ball at the Montana Tech 31-yard line.
You got to show press coverage. Now, whether you play it here or not on the edge, you've got to at least show it and get that pre-snap out of that quarterback's head and then defend the underneath stuff. I think it's just too far to handle the ball to Yates here, so I'd expect some kind of play-action soft rollout.
Handoff going to go to the tailback. And he is going to be really close.
They showed me.
As Hidalgo with the carry. And he will move the chain. So Hidalgo will get 1st down yardage. And the Raiders will be looking at 1st and 10 at the Montana Tech 27. And Hidalgo throws his shoe. He pitches his shoe. Asciutto, right side, pass complete, knocked out of bounds at the 21. That's a gain of 6. Hidalgo, before the pre-snap, just took his shoe off and pitched it in the backfield. And now he goes to the sideline. And we'll get Gunnar Yates back into the ball game.
Got to go lace him up.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. As they got up and got set, he just grabbed his right foot, his right shoe, and just threw it about 10 yards behind him. 2nd and 4. They're going to move tight end left. Real heavy formation to the wide side of the field as the ball's on the right hash mark. Yates in the backfield with Asciutto. 4-man pressure coming. They're going to look for the fade into the end zone, and we're going to get a flag.
Well, I don't know about that. Angel Sanchez is in good shape, and he's the lead guy up the field here. They're gonna get a PI on Angel Sanchez here, but he's in good shape. He's number 1 going down the field here, and his eyes are back.
Thanks, Jason. Let's take a look at this on the Case Construction instant replay here. Oh, there's the shoe. He's pitching the shoe. Jason, do you have the replay on that last one by chance? 2nd down and 5 here for the Raiders. We'll see. All right, here we go. Taking a look down that far sideline.
There are 2 fouls.
Thanks, guys.
If I don't see the front half of that play, I think Angel Sanchez is the receiver.
I agree.
Number 9, 15-yard penalty, automatic first down.
That's it. So both of the flags were against Montana Tech. They take the pass interference. Wow. Again, my thanks to Jason and the crew.
Wonder, why is that 15 yards and not half the distance to the goal line?
They were outside the 20, right?
Yeah, but I thought, since 15 does take it more than half the distance to the goal line, it is half the distance to the goal line, but not. God, what do I know?
1st and goal from the 6-yard line here for the Raiders. Handoff goes to Yates. He gets through 1 defender and down to the 3-yard line to bring up 2nd and goal here for the Raiders. Montana Tech leading 14-7. 8:18 left to play here in the first half. Back up to the line of scrimmage quickly are the Raiders. Asciutto out of the shotgun. Yates behind him in the pistol. Yates will get the carry, bounces right. He's into the end zone for the score. The Raiders are within 1. So Yates with his 8th carry of the day, 47 yards on the ground. He now has 2 touchdowns, both of the touchdowns for the Raiders. And the kicking unit will try and tie us up at 14. 8:05 left to play here in this first half. Frontier Conference action here on Digger Vision. It's homecoming for Montana Tech. And the PAT attempt here. Long snap, hold is good, kick is up, and the kick is through. We're tied at 14, 8:05 left to play here in the first half. Frontier Conference football here on Digger Vision. We have a timeout on the field, so we'll take one. We're back here with homecoming, brought to us by Nucor, Alumni Coliseum, right after this. Or Digger football here on Digger Vision. It's homecoming, brought to us by Nucor. As boy, a nice drive that time by Southern Oregon once again. As Southern Oregon goes 14 plays, 98 yards, and they get 7 points out of it.
How many minutes was the drive? They ate up a lot of clock.
It was 8:05. Well, let's see here. Hold on. 8:03. 8:03 the length of the drive. So Montana Tech's offense will get another go here. We're tied up 14 all. Blake Thelen is 4 of 7 for 57 yards. Lander Smith, 7 carries for 51. And here comes Levi Torgerson again. He took one 95 yards to the house the last time he touched it. And he'll bring this one out to the 38-yard line. I won't put any pressure on him or anything, but, you know, Levi, as we mentioned, two-sport athlete, plays basketball. He's a guard for Montana Tech. That's what he was brought to the campus for. Here's the replay on our kick return by Levi. As back up to the line of scrimmage we go.
Field position hasn't been a problem.
It has not. So 1st and 10 here for Montana Tech. 1 back, 3 receivers. Looks like we have a new tailback in possibly. That may be Renner back there.
It is.
Handoff going to go to Renner. Renner has daylight. He's across midfield, 45 down to the 43-yard line. Ethan Renner with the carry. Ethan, the senior out of Laurel. He'll get first down yardage and more to the Southern Oregon 41-yard line.
Lander saw enough of that.
Take a look at the hole here created by the right side of that offensive front.
That's him saying, am I going in? No, he's saying, I'm going in.
Nice job, Ethan. Now get back over here. 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. Montana Tech back in at tailback is Landers Smith. Tight formation, one receiver left, one to the right, tight end on each side. Landers going to get it. They're going to try and stretch the edge lefts. Nowhere on the outside, and we have a flag come flying in.
And they're going to get Pierce, I think, for a hold there on the edge.
Boy, stretching that edge all the way out like that, it's almost always feel like you get that flag in. 7:22 left to play here in the first half. Frontier Conference action.
Holding on the offense, number 30. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. First down.
Let me open a scoreboard. We'll see if we can get some other scores here as we make our way through this first half. It's horrible to say. I'm not sure I can even tell you what other games we have going on right now. College of Idaho is in Billings.
Northern's at Carroll.
Yep, and I've got both scores of those. So College of Idaho leading Rocky 21-17 with 6 minutes left in the second. And Carroll leading Northern 10-0 in the second. 1st and 10 here for the Digs. We're tied up 14-all in Butte, Montana. Ball at the Ordiger 49-yard line. Handoff going to go to Landers Smith. No daylight at all. Boy, both these teams are keyed up on the other guy's running team. Hey, just, you look at Yates and Landers. I mean, these guys just having phenomenal years, and both teams prepared heavily for each of those guys.
Ty Glumbick there at inside linebacker. Got his hands on Landers Smith and let him know about it. Slammed him to the ground. But, yeah, both teams have found their footing a little bit after those first series or two, trying to run the football and are starting to be a little more effective on the ground. Maybe not. That wasn't the case in the last play by Montana Tech, but
2nd and 20. They're going to run screen back here on the near side. Landers Smith with the ball. Gets away from one defender down the sideline near the 40-yard line. That's going to be a pickup of 11.
Good job. He got more than half of it back. That's what you want there.
They'll be looking at 3rd down and 9 here at the Southern Oregon 40-yard line. So 3rd and 9. As the Digs look to the sideline for the play call here. Substitution in. Logan Kennedy will check in. Parker Johnston out of Helena Capital will check out.
Haven't seen a lot of stunting or anything like that out of this Raider defense. Showing a lot of half field at the snap, and they're generally just walking one safety down. Looks like they'll stay in umbrella here.
Pressure coming from the backside. Pass right side across the 35 to the 33.
You've got to read that if you're Montana Tech. They're stepping those safeties down. That time, Levi Torgerson leaves the line of scrimmage. That safety steps down into the flat. They get Torgerson wide open down the left hash mark there for 6. Not just a big gain. 6 points right here.
Look at there. Levi all the way in the back there.
Yeah, you got to recognize that. If you're upstairs, you got to say, hey, they're showing us half field, but they're stepping one down and we're getting 3 deep. You run the seams against that, you're going to throw for 350 yards.
4th and 5. Montana Tech's offense stays on the field. They look to the sideline, and it looks like we'll get an adjustment. Landers Smith moves to the right hip of Blake Thelen. 3 receivers left. Ball at the 36-yard line. Pressure coming. Thelen airs it up. Left side, it's caught. Levi Torgerson at the 5, out of bounds at the 3-yard line. That was on a dime. He put it right over the shoulder of Levi Torgerson. What a well-thrown football.
That time they walked up, went single high safety and man across the board, and Torgerson just beat his guy in man coverage. Didn't have much on it.
Look at this.
A step and a half. You watch here, but that ball is thrown perfectly, and he airs to the sideline there for Torgerson to be the only guy that can catch the ball.
What a throw. Blake Thelen. Levi slow to get up. He'll come to the sidelines. And that brings up 1st and goal here for the Digs.
Yeah, he'll want to get back on there. Having himself a day, Levi is.
So Levi right now, that's his 2nd catch, 39 yards. He has 1 kick return for 95 yards and a score. As the Digs looking at 1st and goal just inside the 4. 1 receiver each way. Landers Smith in the backfield. Landers will get the rock. He'll put his head down and push to the 2. They'll mark him down just inside the 2. 2nd and goal. Ordiger football. We're tied up 14 all.
Yeah, and I'd be real surprised if you see this go anywhere but in Lander Smith's belly, off left tackle, off left or right tackle, probably between the tackles. I don't know that against this defense you want to try and run the perimeter unless it's on some kind of a hand fake end around. But I like Landers between the tackles or the guards here.
They'll shift across. Twin tight goes right. Pierce and Logan Kennedy both on the right side. Handoff going to go once again to Lander Smith. He'll push forward. Lander Smith to the goal line. Lander Smith is in for the touchdown. The Ordigers go up 20-14 as Landers pounds it in once again. Lander Smith, 9 carries, 53 yards and a score. So Montana Tech goes up by 6 with 3:50 left to play here in this first half.
And you have to credit Southern Oregon. They're making him work for it. They're making that offensive front work for it. But hats off to Montana Tech. You know, after that first series or two, they've started to get helmet on helmet, starting to get Lander Smith some daylight, and he's running like he's seeing a little daylight.
Third down, or excuse me, rather the kicking unit is in. My apologies. Southern Oregon had one too many guys out, and I don't think they got him off the field. So the kick is good.
There's a flag.
Yep. They had an extra guy on the field, and he did not get off before the snap of the football.
Illegal substitution.
So illegal substitution.
Penalties declined. Result
So
of play.
the penalty is declined, and the Digs will go up by 7. 21-14 our score. Montana Tech with the lead over Southern Oregon. The Digs have run 21 offensive plays for 178 yards. Southern Oregon 27 offensive plays for 166. Just a gorgeous day here in the mining city. Thankfully, no smoke.
Been a great game so far.
Really has.
Two teams that are almost mirror images of each other, really. You know.
Yeah, in a lot of ways.
Yeah, highlighting the tailback. A lot of single back, tailback action. A lot of play action pass. Some soft rollout out of both teams.
Yeah, this certainly feels like one with a turnover or two really is going to change the texture of this football game. So the Digs, thank you for that. So the Digs will kick off here. Southern Oregon will get another go. Asciutto is 12 of 15 for 92 yards. Yates has 9 carries for 50. What do you think the line is if you're Montana Tech's defense? What is the number you're happy with giving Yates on the ground? Is it, keep him under 100?
Well, that's the goal. You never, as a defense, that's the benchmark, right? But, if you're realistic, it's not so much the total number of yards. You just want to try and keep them the big plays, the big chunk plays. We used to have, certain goals on a weekly basis, both offensively and defensively outside of Coach Green's office there. But it was try to keep teams from having zero or not from having, but having 0 runs for 20-plus yards, 0 passes from 20-plus yards. Points was always like 24.
Yeah.
And on a kicking team,
that was
30.
a standard. You certainly expect less than that if you were playing somebody that didn't score the ball that well. But, by and large, that's a great question. But teams have goals. Now, whether they float from opponent to opponent or if they're just a standard, that's maybe a different story. But we had a standard.
3:50 left to play here in the first half. Ordigers got offside on the kickoff. So that will bring the ball out to the 30-yard line here for the Raiders. Asciutto has 1 back, 3 receivers. Montana Tech leads by 7. Blitz coming hard. Trying to get to him. Yates gets the edge, 35 and out of bounds at the 39-yard line. He'll pick up 8, if not 9 on the carry.
Well-timed zone there off the right side. That's just inside zone, and Yates chose to bounce it out. I'd be curious to see if he could see Whitcomb coming from the wide side here, and he just knew that there's no cutback available here. I cut back, I'm dead. Just take it play side, or if that's just how the play developed. But if he decides to wind that back there, Whitcomb runs himself right into it.
2nd down and 2 here for the Raiders. 3 receivers. And the handoff play action to Yates. They'll swing the pass out. Good first move out across the 40. First down yardage with the reception is Jasko, the sophomore out of Oregon. Jasko, his second catch of the day.
You hear me say it a lot that time. And Jaden Downs, you don't have to make the tackle to make the play. He sprints up, takes on a blocker, but he has to turn that thing into his teammates. He does a nice job of coming up, forcing that runner to take that ball inside, and then his teammates get to come up and polish off the tackle. But that's a good play, good discipline, a fundamental defensive play by Jaden Downs.
1st and 10 here for the Raiders. Ball at their 43-yard line, left hash mark. 2 receivers to the wide side, 1 here to the narrow side. Asciutto out of the shotgun. Pressure coming. Asciutto airs it up. Pass complete. That's going to be a gain of 3, if not 4, as he hits Jackson Clemmer, his tight end, once again. These two, obviously, both seniors, both went to Camas, played together through some years down there.
Clemmer's a tall drink of water, 6'6".
He is. 6'6", 220. 2nd down and 8.
They brought a couple linebackers or safety and linebacker last time. We'll see what they do here on 2nd and long. Looks like they're going to lay back.
2nd and 8 here. Handoff is going to go to the tailback. Yates gets daylight. He's across midfield to the Montana Tech 46-yard line. That's going to be a gain of nearly 10 and move the chains here for the Raiders.
Southern Oregon's found their footing offensively in that offensive front. They're starting to get Yates some daylight between the tackles.
And we've got our 2-minute timeouts. Ladies and gentlemen, Montana Tech leading 21-14. 1:56 left to play in the first half. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor here on Digger Vision. We're back to Alumni right after this. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. 1:56 left to play here in the first half. Southern Oregon with 2 timeouts. They trail by a touchdown. And they're looking at 1st and 10 at the Montana Tech 46-yard line. 2 receivers left. Asciutto out of the shotgun. Montana Tech has 5 on the defensive front. Long snap count here for Asciutto. Ball bobbles. Montana Tech gets on it at midfield.
Good call on the turnovers.
Asciutto really just never hung on to that thing. It goes to the turf, and Montana Tech jumps right on it. Wyatt DeVos.
But, I mean, you mentioned it, just a turnover. That's why I knocked on wood. It might happen to the Raiders and not Montana Tech. But that ball just glances right off of Asciutto's hand. And DeVos heads up, eyes up, able to just jump on it. Easy turnover and a huge chance for Montana Tech to go up 2 scores going into the half.
Southern Oregon will start with the football in the second half. The Digs have all of their timeouts. 1:52 left to play here in this first half. And nice here come the Digs out.
Nice to see Parker Johnston back in the mix the last couple of games. You know, he's fought injuries his whole career here. Now he's back and healthy and getting in the mix.
And in at quarterback is Cade Wyatt. He'll hand off on the sprint sweep. And out across the 40 down to the 38-yard line is Renner.
That's what I like about Renner, too. He's got good balance, stays on his feet, low center of gravity. Got a Montana Tech offensive front guy down here, it looks like.
Love to see that here as you watch the replay as Cade Wyatt in at quarterback running that Wildcat.
You can't tell. I think the first numbers is 6. I don't know if it's Chase Meyer or...
So as they work on that young man, 1:41 left to play here in the first half.
Kobe Marino's got the ability to look like he has pads on without wearing pads.
I think he gets sick of me. Whenever I see him in the hallways at the Hyper, I ask him if he wants me to show him where the weight room is. So they continue to work on one of the offensive linemen here for Montana Tech. Again, the Digs will go on the road next week to Western. They'll take on the Bulldogs. Actually, let's get a score update for you here while the Bulldogs are off this week. The other games, let's see if we can get an update in score here. College of Idaho leading Rocky 28-17 with about 3 minutes to go in the second quarter. And Carroll all over Northern 24-0 as that one close to halftime as well.
I can't see. Is that Chase? Is that a 69? Looks like it.
It is.
He's walking off gingerly. That's one of those limps that almost looks like it's recoverable. So we'll see if his day's complete or if they can get some work done, maybe a retape, and get him back on the field.
Chase comes over with the trainer. Montana Tech back after it 1st and 10. Out of the shotgun, Blake Thelen. Handoff is going to go to his tailback. And that one is down to the 36-yard line. A gain of 4 on first down for Lander Smith.
Still in no hurry if you're Montana Tech here. You're loaded with timeouts. You got a buck and a half left, 126. Did they take one there? Maybe they did take one there, but 35-yard line going in, 36-yard line going in. You got all the time in the world.
Second down and 6. Coach Kyle Sampson is on the field talking to the officials here.
That's why I thought maybe they took a timeout, and I don't know why the clock stopped.
Montana Tech.
Yeah, so Montana Tech is getting a timeout here, getting charged for one anyway. Yeah, Coach Sampson was all the way out to the numbers. And the Digs do take a timeout. 126 left to play here in this first half. The Digs with 2 timeouts remaining. They have the ball at the Southern Oregon 36-yard line.
I should have looked a little closer. So this would be a more of a prevent situation if you're the Red Raider defense. Maybe they are hanging with 2 safeties, but I should have looked at that a little sooner. See if they're still walking a safety down from that half-field look. I mean, it is so fun when you're right there. You know, you see a team being prevent look, but they're not necessarily playing prevent. One safety will walk down, you run verticals at it, and you get guys down the hash marks. I mean, quarterbacks never see guys that open.
Yeah.
You know, and then it becomes a pass that's just got to have enough zip on it to get there quick so a corner can't rally or a safety can't rally to that spot, but it's also has to have enough touch on it to clear that underneath coverage. But it's a lot of fun for those quarterbacks and those receivers to get that open.
Second down and 7 here for the Digs. Ball at the Raider 36-yard line. Smith going to get it again, and a sea of white gets at him. One of the first to make contact that time was Dylan Daniels, a DB out of Kent, Washington.
I think you're two down territory here, too. I think if you're Montana Tech, 35-yard line, you've got 3rd and 6. Smith in the backfield certainly still in the mix here. I'd expect some play action, maybe soft rollout, something to, a tiered, single level, next level, and deep level, some kind of rollout here, but we'll see.
Levi Torgerson back in. He's in the slot up top. 3 receivers. Southern Oregon, 4 on the defensive front. Pressure coming. Pass, right side, complete at the 25-yard line. Wyatt Alexander hauls it in. That's a gain of 9. And that'll move the chains for Montana Tech. 44 seconds remaining here in the first half.
Great job by Alexander on the curl route there of making himself presentable to the quarterback. There's not a lot of room there.
No, not much at all. And throws those hands up quickly with the snap. Looking for the deep ball right side. Wide open. Wyatt Alexander. No signal yet.
Yep. Back of the end zone.
Back of the end zone. Thank you. I'm like, hello. Wyatt Alexander hauls it in, and Montana Tech goes up 27-14.
Can I give it a Bruce Willis here? Welcome to the party, pal.
That was fantastic. And I was looking at the wrong officials, and neither were raising a hand. I'm like, hello.
Hadn't heard much from Wyatt all game long, and then bang, bang.
Back to
10
back.
yards.
Wyatt Alexander. Big first down catch and then a big touchdown catch. And Montana Tech goes up, try and make it 2 touchdowns here with 33 seconds remaining in the first half. Snap and hold are good. The kick is up, and it is through.
How about the drive block? Oh, boy.
Montana Tech leading 28-14. Southern Oregon with 2 timeouts. We'll see what they bring to the plate here. They will get the ball to start the second half as well. Right now, Blake Thelen, 9-12 for 139 yards, 2 scores.
That's a nice half of football, Blake has.
Yeah, he really has.
Doesn't have to throw the ball a whole ton. They've stuck to their plan with a little bit of Renner and a lot of Lander Smith there in the backfield and able to do a lot of what they want to do. It's not like they've stalled a lot. Or did they have 1 punt in the first half? Or did they punt?
No, but they had the interception.
Oh, gotcha.
Yep, yeah. The 1 interception. Both teams with 1 turnover. Montana Tech with 7 points off of that turnover. And they will kick off here. 28-14.
Need a good cover here. Hopefully he can kick it into the end zone so you don't have to risk a big return here to put their offense in good field position, with a half a minute left here in the first half.
Kicking unit out here for Montana Tech. The Digs have run 26 offensive plays for 227 yards. Feel like that just hasn't updated here. The line drive, this one's going to go sailing 5 yards deep, and Southern will take a knee. So Southern Oregon will take the knee and bring it out. Montana Tech leading 28-14. Thelen is 9 of 12 for 139 yards. As you mentioned, really had a nice first half thus far, and a couple of his passes have been dang near perfect. The slant route to Wyatt and then the deep ball to Levi was absolute picture perfect.
He has that go route to Wyatt. He's got a lot of margin for error there. Wyatt had beat his defender by every bit of 5 yards, but he threw it on the dot. You know, Wyatt had to make a pretty good effort just to keep a foot in bounds there at the back of the end zone. But regardless, it's 6 points and a great momentum builder going into the locker room at halftime.
First down and 10 here for the Raiders. They have time to work. 2 timeouts. 33 seconds remaining. Ball at their 25-yard line. Asciutto handoff to his tailback. And that tells you what their plans are here for the next several seconds. Clock continuing to run.
Nice play up front that time. How do you say Dominic's last name? Umile?
Umile.
Umile? Okay.
Umile.
Sorry about the butcher job there, but a great play nonetheless.
So Umile, second down and 12. They rush up to the line of scrimmage. And they will not snap the ball. You surprised by that, but Southern not? Or are you just going to the locker room and turn it around and go?
If they don't turn the ball over in the previous series, I would be surprised by this. But, you know, that everybody gets gun shy, including coaches. And you just kind of bear with what was dealt with you in the first half, go into the locker room, talk about a few things, and then come out ready to make a comeback in the second half.
28-14 our score. Montana Tech with the lead. It's homecoming. The Digs over the Raiders here at Alumni Coliseum. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. We'll take a break. We'll talk about that first half, give you numbers and more right after this. 14, and Klemer has 3 catches for 11 for Southern Oregon. Let's see here. Southern Oregon was 3 of 5 on third down. Montana Tech was 2 of 5. And let's see what else is of note here. Again, 1 turnover on each side. Montana Tech threw the interception that, I mean, like you talked about, basically a punt. And, of course, the fumble that Montana Tech turned into a score. So the kickoff goes through the back of the end zone. And we're underway here in the second half. Thanks for joining us on Digger Vision. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor.
And getting back to the last question you asked me before that first half ended, does this surprise you offensively with those just going to the locker room down two scores? If I would have thought the way they were thinking, they knew they were getting the ball coming out here in the second half. They just probably wanted to wait for that opportunity, not risk a turnover. I think if they know they're kicking off going into the second half, they might have taken a shot downfield or something and tried to get some kind of points on the board.
So here comes Southern out. Asciutto. Again, he's 14 of 17 for 99 yards. Tight end left, 3 receivers. Montana Tech brings 5 up to the defensive front. Asciutto looks at the armband for the play call. 1st and 10 from the 25-yard line. Handoff going to go to the tailback. Yates has daylight. Yates cuts back at the 35. He's across the 40, 45 to the 47-yard line. A gain of 22 for Yates. And it sounds like Tech pleading their case that they thought that ball came out. Linesman on this side saying it was down.
That's one change you see Montana Tech. Now, granted, they had a tight end and a wing to this side, but Montana Tech reduced down to an odd front. They covered the center with a nose and walked up an outside backer and showed a 5-man surface. You know, and a lot of times, you know, that people, you know, if you cover them all, they'll call that a bare front, right? I don't know that they covered them all there, but it certainly was a 5-man surface. Some people like to do that to take on a heavy running attack. I still like the layers off a 3-man surface. I like guys coming from 2 or 3 yards deep, but that's one adjustment I've seen.
1st and 10 here for the Raiders. Stepping up in the pocket, Asciutto able to get rid of it, has a man downfield across the 30. And out of bounds at the 29-yard line. Good pitch and catch that time as Klemer gets the reception. Asciutto stepped up in the pocket. Both edges collapsed on him, and he really held his column and delivered a nice ball downfield.
Big 6'6" tight end. Easy guy to find there as you roll into the pocket, out of the pocket, step up, and look downfield. That 6'6" helmet's pretty easy to find. And Klemer answers the call, catches the ball, and moves the sticks.
1st down and 10 here for the Raiders. Ball at the 28-yard line of Montana Tech. Good opening drive here for the Raiders. They trail by 2 scores. They're going to bring 2 guys in the backfield, a fullback and tailback is Yates on the left side of Asciutto. Play action. Asciutto wants to throw. Double team down the center, overthrown, incomplete.
Yeah, he spun his receiver around there. This receiver wanted it over his right shoulder. I think Asciutto tried to throw him open, getting it over his left shoulder, had to do a speed turn. Ball was overthrown, but a good idea. I mean, on first down, keep them honest. Let them know that you're going to try and maybe stretch or take the lid off the top of that defense because they really haven't tried that thus far today.
You were talking about Dion Williams. He's down here on the sideline currently.
He still looks like he could play.
Oh, I agree. One of the more electric ore diggers in my time calling games.
He could find a football in a hurricane. That guy was an unbelievable ball hawk as an offensive player. 2nd and 10, blitz coming. Hand off to Yates. He gets through the first level into the, boy, it looked like he had daylight. He gets chopped down at the 20-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 9. Boy, he got through that first, and I thought he was off to the races. It's a scary situation. You know, to me, if I'm looking at this, I look at Montana Tech defensively. I'm seeing a team that knows what the offense is going to do, but they're having trouble stopping it. That's always a scary situation to be in. 3rd down and 1 here for the Raiders. Again, they were 3 of 5 on 3rd down in the first half, and you'd have to assume they're in 2-down territory here. Fullback lefts, Yates in the pistol behind the quarterback. Montana Tech coming hard. Yates gets the handoff, pushes forward, gets a gap. He's inside the 10. He's going to stroll in for the touchdown. So Yates gets in. That's his 3rd touchdown today. It is 14th of the year, and the Raiders are within 8. Yeah, a lot of heads at the line of scrimmage, knowing that Yates is going to get the ball, but how often do you see it? Good wind back by Yates at the line of scrimmage. That ball starts off tackle right. He cuts it back. And once you clear that line of scrimmage, everybody's gone. You know, you're by all those helmets. All you have to do is just win a foot race to the goal line, and Yates isn't going to lose many of them.
Kicking unit in for the PAT here. 28-20, Montana Tech with the lead. Southern Oregon, a nice drive to get into the end zone. 5 plays, 75 yards. Snap and hold are good. Montana Tech gets pressure, but the kick is good. 28-21 our score. Montana Tech with the lead over Southern Oregon. Frontier Conference football here on a Saturday afternoon. Montana Tech's offense will get the ball here. Let's see if we can get some scores of those other games here. Again, Western is off this week. College of Idaho, as it goes into the start of the 3rd, College of Idaho leading Rocky 35-24. That one is in Billings. And Carroll all over Northern 30-0 at home. Both of those a little bit behind us, but not by much.
Yeah, and you go back to Carroll, other than Montana Tech, they've seen, you know, just record-wise and everything, they've seen what the lighter side of this conference has to offer thus far, and including today. And then they're going to have to run the gauntlet here coming up. You know, they're going to see Montana Tech again. They're going to see College Idaho. They're going to see Western. You know, so their season's really going to get tough.
Yeah. Gosh, and I'm trying to think. I think C of I might be there, but otherwise I think they're at Dillon. You know, they're obviously here. You know, they have some games ahead of them. So Southern will kick off here again. Well, really nice drive that time by the Raiders. Deep kick. And Levi Torgerson will field it, go into the end zone, and they'll start it off offensively at the 25-yard line. So the Digs will get things rolling here from their end zone. Montana Tech, 26 offensive plays, 227 yards. Thelen is thrown for $139 and a pair of scores. And the Digs will start at their 25.
You've got to pick up offensively where you left off. You know, a team that was really efficient offensively in the first half, you got to pick it up because that Red Raider offense has shown no signs of really slowing down. You know, they got in their own way. They had that turnover. But other than that, they've been able to move the football and score today.
So out of the shotgun, Thelen, man in motion is Logan Kennedy. Thelen, play action. He's going to drop it off to Logan. Kennedy spins at the 30. He's down to the 33-yard line, a gain of 6, nearly 7.
Good little chunk on first down, little play action. Logan Kennedy popping the end and then springing into his flat route. And Thelen getting a good hand fake in the backfield and getting rid of the ball quick for Logan Kennedy to not only catch the ball, but to be able to turn and make a move.
Only one punt in that first half. Southern had one kick, and that was it. 2nd down and 4 here for the Digs. Thelen puts Kennedy in motion again, split backs. Handoff is going to go to Smith. He dives across. He'll pick up 2. Not much there, as a whole lot of white jerseys at the bottom of that pile.
Including cornerback. Once again, that time, Dylan Daniels getting in there from the dead T side here, getting in there, mixing it up, getting a piece of Lander Smith's legs, and he's chopping him down. He knows he can't go anywhere without that lower half, and he's getting into Smith's legs when he gets his helmet in there.
Iona Purcell was at the bottom down there. He came charging in and got in the way early. 3rd down and 2 here for now they look to the sideline for the play call. 10:40 left to play here in the 3rd. Montana Tech up by a touchdown. Here comes the blitz. Thelen stands, delivers right side. He has Wyatt Alexander. Wyatt down to the 30-yard line. The ball is stripped out, incomplete. Nice job in coverage that time. Wyatt got that catch, and as they were falling, he was able to strip it away from it, looked like.
He's got to recognize that coverage. He had, once again, Levi Torgerson running down the hash mark, wide open.
Wyatt makes that catch and then stripped out of his hands. Our Case Construction instant replay, 2nd and 10 here for the Digs.
When you go 3-deep coverage, the only 2 guys that are recognizing a vertical release and kind of manning up are the 2 corners. Now, the safety that drops to the middle, he's got a center field, 2 guys going vertical at him, and you can get big gains.
I'll swing it out here to Levi Torgerson. Torgerson leans out across the 40-yard line. That's a gain of 5. Bring up 3rd and 5 here for the Digs at their own 40. Levi Torgerson, that is his 3rd catch of the day. Leading receiver right now is Logan Kennedy with 6 catches, 62 yards and a score. Just to knock it away. If he'd have squared his body up, he probably picks that thing off as he dives in front of the receiver.
Yeah, he has a good chance to house call that interception, no doubt.
4th and 5 here for Montana Tech. And the punting unit is out. First team All-American Andrew Olmos.
Arguably the biggest play of the season was a fake punt out of this Montana Tech special teams. I don't know if now is the time to run it because you've shown it on tape, but when you think now's not the time is the best time to run it, right?
3rd down or 4th and 5, and the kick is away. Fielded at the 12-yard line, going backwards down to the 7-yard line. Return going right and hauled down at the 7-yard line. Great job that time by the Bullets, as the return man has nowhere to go.
Immediate timeout.
And the Digs make a big special team play.
Christian Vetter, I believe.
Looks that way.
Running back, good play. A good job up there that time. It looked like Jaden Downs maybe was the contained guy on that punt cover. And a good job of not letting that return man see the edge there. He corralled it, forced him up, and then Vetter's able to come in and clean up the tackle.
Actually, other Butte High product, it was Christians. It was for Montana Tech, Christian Hansen.
Oh, gotcha.
So Christian Hansen, who just transferred in this year. And we have a timeout on the field. 9:31 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. Montana Tech leading 28-21. We'll see what they do with it here. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. We're back on Digger Vision after this. We're back here once again as Southern Oregon's offense will get things rolling here. Ball at their 8-yard line. Asciutto, hand off to Yates. Yates hits the scrum, spins out of it. He's across the 10 out to the 11-yard line. During the break, we had a very special birthday. Dennis Zander's birthday, ladies and gentlemen.
I could only guess. I might have guessed 56 or 57. Old Dennis.
Wonder if he's out of the tailgate still. I thought his seats were down here below us, but Dennis Zander, who does so much for Montana Tech in every respect, celebrating a birthday today. Congratulations. Wonder if he's going to buy us cake. 2nd down and 6. Asciutto trips receivers right. Montana Tech creeping up. Blitz is coming. They're going to run screen out on the edge. What a play at corner. My goodness.
That's probably Downs. He's been playing the wide side. Oh, no, that was Wickham.
Yep.
Wickham. And we've seen him the last 2 years do that a lot, right?
Yeah.
He's taken and beaten blockers and still made tackles. Just a full-service guy out there in the pocket. He does a nice job of staying on his feet, outside arm free, everything we always talk about, but he makes the tackle more often than he doesn't.
Absolutely blew that up. 3rd down and 8 here for the Raiders. They're 4 of 6 on 3rd down today. One receiver wide each way.
Now they'll have two backs.
And they're going to call a timeout. Boy, Asciutto didn't like that at all. They got to the line of scrimmage.
First charge line.
And he wasted no time. He called a quick timeout. 8:02 left to play here in this third quarter. So a big third down here for the Raiders. Hopefully everything going well for you on a Saturday afternoon.
Now, they lined up there with two backs in the backfield, so that would tell them, or tell me defensively, that they're expecting pressure. Some kind of pressure package out of Montana Tech, knowing they can get max pass protection in the backfield and give someone, 2.5 seconds chance to get open versus man coverage. So what would that tell me as a defensive coordinator? I think I'd hang my hat on the bluff. I think I'd walk guys up, show a little pressure, and then maybe back off right before the snap, maybe drop 7 or 8 into coverage and see if you can't get Asciutto a little uncomfortable.
Third down and 8. All right. Up to the line of scrimmage we come. Crowd getting loud here.
Now they got one back in the backfield. They changed their set. Now they're motioning to two tight.
Yep, twin tight, one on each side. One receiver wide each way. Asciutto with a long snap count. Here comes pressure. Asciutto play action, looking downfield. Comeback route, well defended, and that's going to be incomplete.
They're going to get the flag, and it's late. And it's late. Sanchez is in good shape there. He's in really good shape. He's on top of the route.
Thanks, Jason. Take a look at the replay here. Our Case Construction instant replay. Okay. So the
Pass
officials.
interference. Number 0 on a defense. 15-yard penalty for the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Pass interference is the call. So a fresh set of downs via the penalty for Southern Oregon.
I thought anything inside 15 yards in college football, it was a point. It was at the point of the foul, no more than 15 yards.
And that might have been the case. They might have given it to him.
They gave him
at the
15.
First, did they give him 15?
Yes.
Okay. 1st and 10 here for the Raiders. So they get themselves a fresh set of downs, one receiver each way. Montana Tech showing pressure. Yates going to swing it out right side. Pass complete across the 30 to the 31.
Out.
Ball comes out, and they're going to say it's down. Linesman on this side says that ball is down. As Barthel caught that. Picked up 7.
Might be able to see that one on replay.
28-21 our score. Clock ticking here in this third quarter.
The only reason I see that ball maybe go out, I thought that the ball catcher went over the defender, so I don't know at what point he's down here.
He's not down yet. That looks like that ball's out. Asciutto, one back, tight end's going to go right. Now he comes back here to the near side. Play action, Asciutto looking to throw. Deep ball down the right side, has a man across midfield, and he is down to the Montana Tech 43-yard line. Good pitch and catch that time. Coming down with it is Wickman once again.
Shouldn't get that pass in there. You just got to get a better drop out of your corner. They clouded corner that time. It was Jaden Downs. And with a safety bracketed over the top of him. That's supposed to be a near impossible completion against that coverage.
Quickly to the line of scrimmage come the Raiders. 1st and 10 at the Montana Tech 44. In trouble. And we're going to get a flag down. Pass is going to be caught at the 30-yard line. A big hit delivered. But I think this is holding coming back. Sawyer Cleveland with the reception. He signals first down, but a flag way back.
Tech brought a little pressure that time. Able
Holding
to get
on the offense.
Asciutto a little more uncomfortable back there.
Spot.
He still threw him, he still stood up, threw the ball, and delivered it.
Only the second penalty on Southern Oregon here today. As, boy, watch that pocket collapse. Asciutto does a great job stepping up and getting rid of this football. But the hold will bring it back. First down and long. Again, our Case Construction instant replay. Thanks for joining us here on this Saturday afternoon.
You got to defend Yates here. Gunnar Yates certainly in the picture here on first down.
Crowd continuing to get loud here at Bob Green. In motion is Barthel. Wanting to throw. Diving across the front. That one's tipped out and incomplete. Angel Sanchez on the coverage that time as they were looking for Cleveland. That'll bring up 2nd down and 20 here for the Raiders.
Yeah, once again, Angel's in really good position. He does a nice job. When he's forced into man coverage, he does a really nice job of staying on the correct shoulder of his opponent, reaching across with the correct arm. He does a really good job technique-wise. He's as technically sound as anybody I've seen here at the cornerback position.
2nd and 20 here for the Raiders. Press coming, handoff is going to go to Yates. He gets tripped up at midfield. That's going to bring up 3rd down and 15, maybe even 16 here for the Raiders. Ball right on midfield.
Good quick read that time by Gonzer, coming up from a half-field safety in the hole there, getting into Yates' legs and flipping him up. Looked like Peyton might have banged up a shoulder, and I'm not so sure he didn't originally bang it up on the completion that got called back on the holding call. He put a hard hit on the receiver there, and it looked like he might have got a little bit of a stinger.
3rd and 16 here for the Raiders. 3rd down. Our Red Line Sports 3rd down up to the line of scrimmage. 4 receivers, 1 back. Hidalgo is in the backfield this time. Ball right at midfield. Asciutto, they're going to run screen here on the near side to Hidalgo. And he'll get hauled down at the 44-yard line. What a play here on the sideline. As making the play for Montana Tech is going to be Trey Yates. The big D lineman chased him all the way across the field and got a handful of jersey.
That's not just great hustle. That's a D front guy understanding angles, adjusting his angle, moving upfield a little bit, and just not allowing Hidalgo to get his shoulders turned vertical.
What a play by Trey Yates. So that'll bring up 4th and 9. And the punting unit comes in for Southern. They trail by a score. 4:45 left to play here in the 3rd. They come out in the shield. Montana Tech 2 return men. Kick is away, and it's going to go into the end zone.
Big break.
Yep. Several yards into the end zone, so Montana Tech will bring it out to the 25-yard line, and their offense will take over once again.
Turns it into a sub-20-yard net punt. Good job on the return.
We've got a timeout.
The fake return.
Yeah. Timeout on the field. 4:30 left to play here in the 3rd. Montana Tech leading 28-21 over Southern Oregon. Frontier Conference football. It's homecoming for the Digs, brought to us by Nucor. We're back right after this.
Junior.
Portland, Oregon. Gladstone High School. 2nd down and 7. 2 receivers on each side here for the Digs. Southern brings 4 up. Man in motion. Play action, rolling right. He's going to drop it off underneath and hauling in. The pass is going to be Levi. So Levi Torgerson hauls it in, short gain.
Especially on 2nd down here, you're getting a lot of just 3 deep zone coverage. That's a good chance to sting one right down the hash mark.
3rd down and 5 here for the Digs.
And the beauty of that play is you only need just under 2 seconds. 1 3/4, 2 seconds, just to clear that underneath coverage, and then you've just got nothing but green grass in front of you as a receiver. All you just need is, there's a lot of error you can have on the throw as well.
3rd and 5. Man in motion. Fakes the pitch. Now they go shovel on the interior. Diving forward is Levi Torgerson.
I think he's going to be, this official had him close. The one up top is going to be 4th and short.
Yep. Under a yard. Take a look at this. This is a well-developed play. Gets the shovel pass up into Levi, and that's a heck of a defensive play, boy. Sneaking in and getting him at the ankles. So that's going to bring up 4th down here for the Digs. Coach pleading his case as far as the spot of the ball.
And he might be trying to get a measurement as well, because where they have that ball spotted right now is, I think it's worthy of a measurement.
I do too.
Not to burn a timeout. He doesn't want to burn a timeout here, but he should be granted a measurement even on an engineered field.
2:26 left to play here in this 3rd quarter. Montana Tech leading 28-21.
And Montana Tech, full disclosure here, they get a really good spot here. I think that ball spotted at least 2 feet further than where Torgerson came down with the ball.
So the chain gang makes their way out. They'll stretch the chains. They've got it. First down, Montana Tech. Boy, from the original spot, it did not look like they were going to get that.
Yeah, we got to see the replay once, and it looked like that ball was down just in front of the 49-yard line. And that, well, obviously, the 2 feet of difference there makes a difference because it looked like they got it from the stripe to the nose of the football there, whatever that is, 2 inches.
So that brings up a fresh set of downs here for the Digs. 1st and 10 at the Southern 48-yard line.
I told you, it's a game of inches, not yards.
One back. There are so many jokes. They're going to swing it out here on the near side. Lander Smith. Smith turns it inside. He's across the 40. Still on his feet at the 30. Lander Smith cuts back again. 15 down to the 10. Landers to the 3-yard line. Lander Smith goes 45 yards and is hauled down at the 3-yard line.
Can I say it again? The
Please
guy
do.
knows how to see daylight.
Boy, he does.
Couple great cutbacks. Yes, couple great. This ball swung to the right. He's inside the numbers on the right. Cutback once. Runs through a tackle.
Keeps his balance somehow. Good footwork to get out. Great blocking downfield by Torgerson in front of him. So 1st and 10 here for the Digs. Quickly to the line of scrimmage. In motion, twin tight right. Landers in the backfield. You'd have to imagine he'll get it. He does so. And not much there. He'll get a yard, maybe a little more, down to the 2-yard line.
Was that Smith again? I had my head turned.
Yeah, it was. 14th carry, 63 yards on the day. Actually, they don't have Landers' numbers updated yet. That'll put him over 100.
You know, there's a couple ways to look at that. You know, that run there, to me, looked tired, right? And he should be tired. I mean, after that big effort on that previous play, wouldn't have been a bad chance to sub him out for a play.
But 2nd and goal from the 2.
But then that's your number 1 guy. You want him at the goal line.
Landers gets the carry again, right side. Good block. Landers Smith into the end zone. Touchdown, Montana Tech. 34-21 as the Digs get into the end zone. Landers Smith rushing touchdown number 2 today. And the Digs stretch their lead out. Montana Tech, number 16 in the country. Southern Oregon, number 7 in the country. Kicking unit is in for the PAT. Under a minute left to play here in the 3rd. So awaiting the snap here on the kick. A little low, they dig it out. Kick is up, and the kick is through. 14-point lead here for the Digs. 35-21 up over Southern Oregon. Frontier Conference football on a Saturday afternoon. We're on Digger Vision. As always, thanks for joining us here.
Look at the size of that guy. Smith, I mean, I just can't imagine meeting that guy in the hole.
So as we make our way back here, still waiting for the stats to be fully updated here for Landers' run. Diggs leading by 2 scores, 35-21.
You got to give a big shout out to his teammates on that play too. There were helmets and bodies moving downfield, trying to pick somebody off as he was cutting back. Guys were staying on their feet, getting just a piece of a defensive back, allowing him to stay on his feet, allowing him to cross the field, and allowing him to almost score.
Yeah, none of them sat and watched. They all were getting downfield, getting in front of him, and helping him if able.
I've watched him enough today. If I was out there, I said, go get him, Landers. I'm tired.
I'd have been 40 yards back waving.
Yeah.
So the kicking unit is in here. The Digs up by 2 touchdowns. 35-21 our score. 59 seconds remaining here in the 3rd quarter. As the kick is away. 3 yards deep. Return is coming out across the 5. Cutting to the right up 10-yard line and not going to make it there. Ball is out. Ball is out. It looks like Montana Tech, they're going to say down. The Digs pleading their case. Boy, a heck of a hit at the 8-yard line, and it looks as though Southern will hold on to the football at their 8.
I'll tell you,
Let's take a look at this.
Yes, there's a lot of surprised people there, so let's take a peek.
So the kickoff, couple yards deep, does not hesitate. He brings it out of the end zone. Watch, you'll see a monster come in right here. Boy, that ball was out. Again, tremendous job in the booth. Jason, Barrett, Tony. Crew is working well. Uh-oh. Other than Haskett's glasses are tied up with his headphones.
The runner was down prior
Looks
to
like
the
we're going to get a stoppage here.
Has challenged that, saying the ball was out.
No, we got 50. Is there a possibility they're going to the 10?
Under review.
Yep, they're going to the review. We're going to get a review. I think it's worth a review. I wish they had our cameras. So they don't. They have normal, like, here you go. Take a look at the replay again. This is a good angle on it on this edge. As that football on the ground, it's a much closer angle, but you don't really see where that ball comes out from that angle. But so as far as the replay officials go, they do not have access to our cameras. They use basically your normal, like any kind of coaches, if you've seen sideline and top. So there's a camera on top of the building that they look at, and there's a camera up in the Gallus frame that they use.
And there's no camera on this end zone, correct?
No. Nope.
There's nobody up on the fence line or anything like that?
Yep. Like I say, it's very similar. It's basically the same film you get like game film. You know, you get one end zone and one sideline. They'll take a look at it. You know, no zoom on it either, so that will certainly affect things. So they are looking at it in the review. The replay.
Coach Thatcher down there asking them to show it for all the fans. Here we go again.
Tech coaching staff pleading their case.
Boy, Hidalgo got worked over after he went down there, too. It looked like he was going to get tied up and the old rodeo breakaway roping.
.51 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. As they continue to look in the tent. Again, they have two views. Hey, Barrett, if you can hear me, give me just like our normal wide cam on top, will you? So if that's, I assume that's it. That's basically the view from the sideline. If the official is looking at the screen from the sideline, this is what they would have. And then imagine this kind of a view, the same height above the field behind the end zone. So here's a look at the replay again. Maybe the officials should just come out and watch. And they do overturn it. They overturn it. That's Ordinger football.
I think that's 33 that comes in and upends. Yeah, that's J.R. Seawald who comes in and upends Hidalgo. And he gets under his pads. He gets under his knees and under his hips and flips him over. And I think at that point, you know, it's Hidalgo's head and arms going down. I think that's where that ball comes out.
Cut bank, Montana, tremendous play. First and goal, Montana Tech. They're in the Case IH red zone. So the offense back out. A good choice to look at that review.
And they are heavy. Fullback in the backfield. Or excuse me, not Thelen. They're heavy, too tight.
Yep.
Oh, excuse me, this isn't tight. This is Nick Michelotti down here. But, yeah, they're heavy nonetheless.
Thielen out of the shotgun, man in motion across the front. They fake the handoff to him. Lander Smith down to the 5, a gain of 3, nearly 4.
A lot going in there for an inside, or on there for an inside handoff. But trying to get a couple helmets popping up on the end around fake to Levi Torgerson, a play we have seen them run near the goal line.
Clock running here, 26 seconds remaining in the quarter. Second and goal from the 6.
Now they're going to spread them out, and they'll run one defender out here. They're going to need at least 2. They got 3 receivers out here.
Out of the shotgun, Thielen puts tight end in motion lefts.
This is Wyant.
Oh, it's Wyant. There you go. Out of the Wildcat, thank you. Wyant dives down to the 3-yard line. So Wyant, Cade Wyant.
They had Thelen out here in the bunch set to the wide side of the field.
And we're going to go to the fourth quarter with a 14-point lead for Montana Tech. They'll look to add to that lead as they are down inside the Case IH red zone. Thanks for joining us here, Digger Vision. Montana Tech up 35-21 on Homecoming. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. Your fourth quarter is up right after this. Back out on the field here as we get ready to start the fourth quarter. Montana Tech leading 35-21. The Digs with a chance to add to their points here. So once again down at the 4-yard line. 3rd and goal from the 4 in the Case IH red zone. As taking some time in the huddle here.
They haven't even started the play clock yet.
The red hat is off the field. Now it looks like we're ready to roll. So the play clock underway. Up to the line of scrimmage come the Digs. Thelen back in at quarterback. Trips receivers left. Now they're going to run twin tight right. Landers Smith in the backfield. Landers fakes Thelen in trouble, rolling to his right. He gets a block. Thelen going to try and make it to the pylon. Thelen turns it upfield. Touchdown, Blake Thelen. Tremendous blocking out in front.
Two great efforts there, picking off the only two people on the field that could have tackled Blake Thelen, and they both get picked off by great effort in the secondary portion of that play.
Take a look at this. These are helmet sticker plays. Watch this. So as Blake Thelen turns, he sees that he has to go the other way. Here comes the first. Splat. Thelen keeps going and then cut back. There's the second, and Thelen has daylight to the pylon. That is outstanding. 41-21. Montana Tech with the lead. Kicking unit is in. And the kick is up, and the kick is good. 10 seconds into the fourth quarter, Montana Tech put another score on the board. The Digs out in front, 42-21 over Montana Tech as we get this fourth quarter. Take a look at the replay here. Thelen from the end zone. Gives you a good idea what it's like to be down there.
That's that same play. Now, granted, it was Nick Michelotti in here to the dead T side and not Logan Kennedy that ran in the first half. They had a bunch set. They shifted heavy to a bunch on the other side and ran play action to Kennedy's side, and they had him wide open. It was the same action, same shift, everything. They wanted to try and get Michelotti at the goal line that time, but Southern Oregon defended it differently, and Thelen didn't have anything to throw. He looked there, and he looked secondary real quick and said, I better get on my horse.
Montana Tech doubling up Southern Oregon right now. 42-21 our score. As lining up for the kickoff here. So Montana Tech put another score on the board after the fumble on the kickoff. Low line drive, bounces at the 5, fielded a yard deep, return coming out to the right side across the 15 and out of bounds at the 19-yard line. As with the return is Lamar. So here come the Raiders out, trailing by 3 touchdowns entering the fourth quarter.
Tech's kick cover team has been outstanding today. As many returns as we've probably seen in a game, by and large.
Truly.
They've returned a bunch of them, and I don't believe they've been past the 20-yard line, maybe once. And Montana Tech's covered that thing inside the 10 twice.
So out come the Raiders offensively. Asciutto, 19-24 for 161 yards. No touchdowns, no interceptions. He has not been sacked.
Now Yates isn't even on the field.
Yep, he goes into the back. Handoff. He originally was lined up out on the wing. He'll push the pile across the 20 to the 21. He was originally lined up wide right.
Oh, there we go.
Gosh, they'll give him 3, maybe even close to 4. Entering the fourth quarter here.
Where's he at on the day, roughly?
Yates, this says 18 carries for $125. But I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know. We'll go with it. Yeah, it is 18, 128. Second down and 7. 1 back, 3 receivers. 3-step drop. Asciutto steps up in trouble, able to get rid of it, and just throws behind his receiver.
Yeah, he had him.
Yep.
He had him. Just missed him with the ball.
So that'll bring up 3rd down and 7 here for the Raiders. See what they bring out here. 13:58 left to play in this football game.
Gonzer playing smart there. He's got this half field to the boundary side on that snap, and he certainly doesn't want let anything at this point in the game behind him. You know, willing to give up a 10, 12-yard completion. You don't want to see it, but you don't want to see what could be worse, anything getting behind you.
3rd down and 7. 2 receivers left, 1 to the right. Asciutto in the backfield. And Yates with him on his left hip. Montana Tech showing blitz. Here comes the linebacker. 5 pressure. Asciutto steps up. He's going to run. Asciutto cuts, gets hit hard, but he should have 1st down yardage.
Good effort. There's a kid that wants it.
There you go. Asciutto on 3rd and 7 picks up 8. He'll move the chains for the Raiders.
Yeah, he doesn't like to tuck it and run. You can just look at that history, that 4-game history this year. He doesn't have a lot of carries, but he's got positive yards. You know, I don't think he takes a lot of sacks, and he knows when to run it. Doesn't necessarily want to have to do it, but, you know, he's just sometimes it just calls for making a play for your teammates.
1st down and 10 here for the Raiders. Trips receivers right. Yates in the backfield with Asciutto. Slot comes in motion. Motion man is Clemmer. Rolling out, Asciutto looking downfield. Directing traffic, Asciutto airs it up, way out of play. Big collision out near midfield. Some words exchanged, no flags. That's going to bring up 2nd and 10.
Tyler Kovic in, playing some nickel coverage here. Good job on the coverage out here.
This is a game that historically there are some words exchanged.
Kovic, Helena.
Yeah, I want to say, is he? Oh, come on, man. Kovic, Capital. 2nd and 10. Trips receivers to the wide side of the field here for Asciutto. He's completed 73% of his passes today. He's 19 of 26. 2nd and 10. 2-step drop, looking right the whole way. Airs it up, finds his man, complete across the 50-yard line. Actually, they'll mark him out of bounds at the Southern 49, but that's going to move the chains. Sawyer Cleveland, the big receiver there, 6'6", 215. He's a grad student out of Corvallis, Oregon.
Deep sideline certainly been the bread and butter of their passing game here today. Deep sideline or corner route. You know, the quarterback's just throwing him open.
1st down and 10. Asciutto between the hash marks, hits his man down to the Montana Tech 35-yard line with the reception as Barthel.
Getting a lot of man coverage out of the corners here from Montana Tech. 2 safety look.
Gain of 16, and that will move the chains. Quickly, the Raiders up to the line of scrimmage. Remember, they're down by 21. 4 receivers. Play action. Asciutto looking left. Pulls it up. He's in trouble. And a comeback route's going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10. Good pressure that time. Montana Tech forced him out of the pocket as Kellen Beller, a young redshirt freshman out of Stevensville, ran him out of the pocket. Heck of a job by Beller this season.
Yeah.
You know, as a redshirt freshman stepping into this linebacking core, he really has played well.
He got his feet wet last year, a couple games, then they maintained that red shirt. They pulled him out of the rotation, but, you know, obviously they thought he was ready to go and thought, let's get 4 years out of this guy. Just an outstanding player from Stevensville High School.
2nd and 10. 3 receivers right, tight to the line of scrimmage. And they're going to run reverse. Coming around the right side, across the 30, down to the 26-yard line as they get it off to Barthel. Well-executed play. It's going to be, looks like just shy of 1st down yardage. It's going to bring up 3rd and 1. Less than 1, to be honest.
It's 3rd down.
12 minutes left to play in the ball game.
3rd and 1 and obvious 2-down territory here, so
yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see him do maybe a little play action to Yates here.
Take a shot.
You're not going to catch any defense here sleeping, I don't think. But it's always worth a shot.
Fullback is in here for Southern Oregon. Ryan Pelton, tight end, is off the left side. Yates, the deep back. Yates will get the ball. He'll get first down yardage. Keeps the feet churning. He's inside the 15, down to the 12.
Oh, wow.
My goodness, he gets tripped up at the last second by Jaden Downs.
He just trucked. Peyton Gonzer came up to make the hit. And, you know, we mentioned the size of Yates. Not overly huge there at tailback. You know, 6 foot, 205 pounds. But I tell you what, he brought all of it at Peyton Gonzer on that snap.
11:07 left to play here in this football game. 1st and 10 for Southern Oregon. Ball at the Montana Tech 13-yard line. Man in motion as a tight end. They faked it to him. They're going to run option left. Yates has a lane. Yates takes it into the end zone.
Yates has 15 touchdowns this year, 4 in this game.
Yep. Every score for Southern Oregon today has been by Yates.
He is as advertised. A really, really nice looking running back.
So that will put up some points here for Southern. Montana Tech leading 42-27. Kicking unit is in.
If you're Montana Tech, that offense, you get them ready. You go out, get that offensive line charged up. You know you're going to probably be doing the bulk of your snaps from this point forward while you have the lead on the ground. So you've got to move the sticks.
Yep. Put your head down and drive. So the kick is up. The kick is good. Montana Tech leading 42-28. 10:52 left to play in the ball game. It's homecoming here on the campus of Montana Tech, brought to us by Nucor. We have a timeout on the field, so with it, we'll take one as well. We're back here after this. Hey, we're back here once again at the campus of Montana Tech. Homecoming brought to us by Nucor. Thanks for joining us. It's been a really, really, really long time since we have been in this booth. Like 36 days or 37 days or some nuts number. No games in September for Montana Tech at home.
It's been a minute. You can see I'm out of practice. Getting back to the game here, though, Montana Tech has time and time again with kickoff return. Well, of course, they housed the opener, but they've gotten great field position, and you've got to keep that up here. But most importantly, out of these two return guys, don't try and get too greedy and get sloppy with the ball. The worst thing you could do right now is turn it over.
They hit it 5 yards deep. They'll take a knee and bring it out to the 25-yard line. 10:52 left to play here in this football game. Southern Oregon, number 7 of the country. They are on a meteoric rise. They jumped 7 spots last week in the top 25 poll. Montana Tech currently number 16 in the country. And like I say, the Frontier Conference holding on to 25% of the top 16.
I'm going to sound like a broken record here, but we'll see what Southern Oregon does defensively. If they stay in their base stuff, they've done a decent job on Smith in this running game for the most part today, just staying in their base stuff. And if Montana Tech can catch them in second down, if they're walking a safety up, it'd be a good chance to get a quick stinger on a not very hard completion.
And off going to go to the edge, turning it upfield out to the 30-yard line.
Or you could just do that.
Yeah, you could just pound her up. So Lander Smith out to the 31-yard line for Montana Tech. Going to bring up second down and 4.
Good job up top. I couldn't see who was blocking the perimeter up there, but maintaining the block and allowing Smith to run parallel to the line of scrimmage to find his cutback lane. Looked like he might just try the sideline, but he read the numbers of his lead blocker out there who's maintaining a block and was able to cut up inside and pick up 6 yards.
I'm trying to get Lander's numbers here. It looks like they do not have Lander's big run in the official book yet. You put him at about 120, maybe 125 yards on the day.
Well, that was a catch and run.
Oh, it wasn't it? It was a reception.
Pass, yes.
You're right. My apologies. So, yeah. Lander's up to 74 yards on the ground.
And you know what they'll do when they look at that. Now, that was a swing pass, but if it was indeed a lateral, they'll go back and alter those numbers after they review film, because that swing route isn't always a forward pass.
Yep.
Sometimes it's a backwards pass, and especially how Thelen throws it.
First down and 10 here for the Digs. Going wide left is Parker Johnston. And it looks like the Wildcat might be in here. It's Thelen, though. So Thelen, split backs. Johnston, wide left. Long snap count. Thelen will hand it off. Landers Smith turns it upfield. Landers out to the 45, 46-yard line, and he'll go down after he picks up 11. Landers Smith, ladies and gentlemen, up to 88 yards on the day. And take a look at this. He gets through that first gap, and they just throw bodies at him, and he just keeps going. Feet churning, and I like the decision here, too. He gets stood up, and you can see him just drop.
He drops and absolutely has both arms around that football.
First down and 10, Ordiggers. 8:42 left to play here in this football game. A long drive here is just as important as any kind of points. Man in motion here on the near side, tight end. Handoff is going to go to Landers again. This time the Raiders defensive front gets him after a slight gain of 1.
And I don't think you're going to see Montana Tech steer away from this. You know, you might see a different set. You might see a different motion. Something maybe with Logan Kennedy coming in and doing that hip-hop motion we used to call it. But I still think it's going to be, now they ran Renner in there. They got Smith off for a breather here. Renner is sure-handed, low to the ground, hard runner, good for this situation.
Yeah, he's had a good day today. 2 runs, 30 yards. 3 receivers. Check that, 4 receivers. Man in motion. Logan Kennedy, tight end, will stop just outside the tackle. Ball gets fumbled, and great job by Renner.
I'm not so sure the center didn't snap it like it was an under center snap.
Yeah.
That ball rolled all the way back, and it looked like it came off his rear end. So now, this
third and 11.
This is the call.
Okay. Go ahead. Give it to me then.
I'm throwing the ball here.
Okay.
Just so you know. You're throwing the ball, right?
Yep.
Not even play action.
Brian Larson also throwing the ball, ladies and gentlemen. Parker Johnston coming in. Logan Kennedy going out. Wyatt Alexander is going to go wide right.
There's been one consistency out of this secondary is 3 deep coverage, regardless of what you're looking at here. Now they got the top side corner pressed up.
Yeah, Montana Tech, by the time they got done subbing bodies, they're going to call a timeout.
So it looks like if they see a 3-receiver set to the wide side, it looks like they're going to cloud that with the corner. That'll mean he'll just press and jam and stay in the flat, and they'll play 3 deep behind it. So you can still get 4 verticals in behind that. Just need 2 seconds, Paul. That's not asking for the world. 2 seconds.
I love how you say it like you're trying to convince me. 42-28, homecoming here for the Ordiggers. Brought to us by Nucor, and as always, thanks for joining us here on Digger Vision. It's amazing how many people forgot to come back in at halftime that are over there in the tailgate. There's a sea of bodies still over in the tailgate.
Yeah, and the bleachers are full. It's a nice crowd here today.
I think so. We just changed over to our digital ticketing system, and I apologize if I messed up anybody's order. But I think we came into today with like 3,600 tickets sold before we even started today. 3rd and 11.
Oh, now they got a dime package in.
Trips receivers right, one of the lefts. Landers Smith was lined up left. He'll come into the backfield.
Now you run it.
Dropping back, Thelen, crossing route, and going nowhere. That's going to pick up 2, maybe 3. That'll bring up 4th down here for the Digs as the clock running. 6:50 left to play here in the football game. And as we always talk about, the Frontier Conference just going to continue to beat the tar out of each other until we get to the final game of the year. Southern Oregon, like I say, have just gone on a terror here. Started the season 4-0, 1-0 in the Frontier. Number 7 in the country.
You fake this, Paul?
Nope.
And Southern Oregon just knows they're not going to fake it. That's the best time to fake it.
So you said. And a loose spiral. Fair catch called for and brought in at the 15-yard line. And that's why we're in this booth and not either of the booths to our left or right. That's the second Hornet we've killed today, if anybody's keeping track. Our opening game of the year, we had like a dozen.
It's our first carcass.
So 6:10 left to play here in the football game. A 14-point advantage here for Montana Tech. Southern Oregon has 55 offensive plays, 385 yards as of right now. Asciutto has thrown for 219 and 1 score.
And the funny thing is I think they'll keep Yates alive. Handoff here in the back.
Agreed.
In the backfield.
So Asciutto out of the shotgun, man in motion. Looking right the whole way. Kind of an out routes to the 20-yard line. That's going to be a gain of 4. As with the reception is going to be, looks like Lamar. Adric Lamar with another catch. Asciutto is at 7 different receivers here today. 2nd down and 6. Pump fake once. Asciutto flushed out of the pocket right. Looking downfield. Asciutto going to air it up deep to the sideline and no one home. Getting rid of it. Deep slant that time. Lamar was making his way downfield. Defensively, Peyton Gonzer was on him, but they were the only ones in the zip code.
A lot of guys in coverage. Pretty good job pass rush that time. Yeah, getting out of your pass rush
Personal
lane.
foul.
Asciutto
Roughing the passer.
circles the right
On
side.
the defense, 15-yard penalty from the previous spot. Automatic first down.
Roughing the passer?
Had to have been. So roughing the passer. 5:50 left to play here in the ball game. I was not even looking back that way.
Boy, that has to be the toughest penalty to avoid in football. You chase a quarterback all game long and you finally get there. Who cares if you're a half second late? You should be able to belt him. Larson will defend me.
1st down and 10. 4 receivers, 2 on each side of the formation for Asciutto. Play action, wants to throw. Asciutto stands up in the pocket, delivers a strike downfield, knockdown. Peyton Gonzer was there for the defensive side.
There's a few places that ball should have went on that play, and it wasn't there. They had over-under on the big tight end. And again, you step up, you start to feel a little heat. It's not hard to find that 6'6" helmet crossing the middle of the field. But, that would have been a miracle completion. You had, was it McNeil under and Gonzer over?
Yep, that's it. 2nd and 10. 5:45 remaining here in the football game. They'll bring 2 in tight, receiver on each end of the formation. Out of the shotgun is Asciutto. That pass goes wide right across the 40, out to the 43-yard line. I felt like I fell into spectator mode there for a moment as it pulls out across the 43. Going to bring up 3rd down and 2 here for the Raiders. 5:28 left to play. Quickly to the line of scrimmage, 3rd and 2. Asciutto going empty. Asciutto looking right, stands, airs it up downfield, has a man complete across the 40, cut back, and down to the 32-yard line is the tailback and Gunnar Yates.
Yeah, Yates is special, no doubt about it.
His 6th reception of the day. He has about 75 yards in receiving yards and 140 on the ground.
I think he just put a move on probably Tech's best defender, certainly best tackler in Whitcomb.
1st down and 10 here for the Raiders. 4:52 left to play in the football game. Raiders to the line of scrimmage, 3 receivers left. Asciutto out of the shotgun, Yates behind him. Man in motion is Clemmer. Play action, Asciutto rolling lefts. Airs it up, wide open on the sideline, and out of bounds down at the 13-yard line. Boy, there wasn't a soul near him on the sidelines.
They had 3 defenders honoring the vertical route out of Sawyer Cleveland. He runs to the goal line. Tech's got 3 defenders with him, and they just ignored the deep stop route or out route, whatever you want to call it.
4:15 left to play in the football game. Southern Oregon in the huddle, 1st and 10.
Southern Oregon still with 2 timeouts left. You're starting to worry about stopping the clock. Say you score here, and Montana Tech gets the football back.
They've run 60 offensive plays for 441 yards. Asciutto going to throw out of the backfield, goes through the hands of his fullback, and that will go incomplete. 2nd and 10. He was looking for Ryan Pelton.
Yeah, and that's when you got to, as a quarterback, you got to, we used to say KYP, know your personnel. That's a fullback. You got to just take a little off that ball, make it a little more catchable ball. He zipped that, got it through the fullback's hands a little high. Those fullbacks are padded up a little more. It's a little tougher for them to get those hands up above their helmet and make a catch.
14-point lead for the Digs. Asciutto with 1 back lined up in the pistol. Going into the backfield is Kenishiro. Asciutto through the middle, has his man. Oh, that ball almost knocked out at the goal line, and the Raiders will score. They go to the tight end right up the middle that time. Good play as Fallstick, junior out of Mud Creek, Washington, hauls in the catch for the score.
We haven't seen Montana Tech run that play, but early on against Georgetown of Kentucky, I was there that week of practice. They were working on it time and time again for Logan Kennedy. I talked about these two teams at almost being an inter squad here, running a lot of the same stuff, even down to that fake screen right, fake left, and then the tight end delay down the middle.
Trying to make this a 7-point game.
Perfect execution.
So the kicking unit is in. Nice drive by Southern Oregon as they pull within a score.
And that's what you call a KYP ball there, too.
Yeah.
That landed or came down like a butterfly with soft feet. Sore feet. Sore feet.
Or soft,
Sore
whichever.
Feet. Either or. You get the picture.
Southern Oregon, 7 plays, 84 yards in 2 minutes and 24 seconds. And the Digs lead is a touchdown, 42-35. And these Raiders will get ready to kick it off to the Digs. Montana Tech, 48 offensive plays, 343 yards. Thelen is 16 of 21 for 207 yards. He has 2 touchdowns, 1 interception on the day. Lander Smith, 20 carries for 88 yards and a pair of scores. Logan Kennedy, 6 catches for 62 yards receiving-wise for the Digs. So look to burn some clock here with the drive. Boy, you'd love to eat up the next 3 minutes and 46 seconds, just pound it down the field.
Kangaroo team out there expecting the onside kick. Not going to get it.
This one goes deep. Fair catch called for. And the Digs will bring her out, start it at the 25. Wind picking up out of the west here. As we talked about in the opening, this was crazy yesterday. It felt like a bluebird day, and then the smoke rolled in, and it got nasty. Good to see you. So the Ore Diggers will start it off at the 25-yard line. Montana Tech right to left on your screen. I fell into old habits there for a second, Haskey. So they'll break the huddle.
It's still a great way to paint the picture.
Two timeouts for Southern Oregon. Montana Tech has their full complement. And Blake Thelen brings him out. He's thrown for 207 today and a pair of scores. Heavy formation. Man in motion is Torgerson. Handoff going to go to Landers. Landers out to the 30. Boy, it looked like I had to have thought there was a significant face mask in there.
Is that what that, yeah, he's got it.
Yeah, his head got drugged down significantly. So it should be a face mask.
Personal foul, face mask, number 97 on defense. 15-yard penalty.
Going to
the end of the run. Automatic first down.
Southern Oregon from having to call a timeout.
The 2-minute timeout will help them as well.
And that clock will start again, right?
Yes, indeed. Once we get the go sign, we should be all right. 7-point lead here for Montana Tech, 42-35. First down and 10 for the Digs. One back. Receivers tight on the right side. Blake Thelen. Hand off to Lander Smith. Smith again across midfield to the 49-yard line of Southern Oregon.
Good job up front.
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Everyone in the building knew that Landers was getting that football, and yet he still gets 6.
Well, you know, by and large, it's been that case for the last now 3 series, counting this series, and they've moved the ball pretty good. You know, they've gotten everything they wanted out of the running game.
2nd down and 4, clock running.
You're just against a team that's whatever, an 0-3 or 4-0, coming in number 7 in the country. You're just not going to get 6 yards of carry against them. You got to take your lumps, but you got to believe in what you're doing and execute.
Play clock down to 2. Thelen will snap it at 1. Hand off to Landers again. Nothing there. Landers loses his footing a little bit and hits the turf. That'll bring up 3rd down and 5. Clock will run to the 2-minute timeout. Unless Southern wants to take a timeout here and get another break.
I don't think they will. I think they're comfortable. They got Montana Tech with 3rd and 5, and they're going to go to the 2-minute timeout. knowing they just need to stop and they could potentially get the ball back regardless of where it is on the field with close to 2 minutes left.
2 minutes timeout.
And 2 timeouts.
So we have a timeout on the field, so with it, we'll take one. It's homecoming here on Digger Vision, brought to us by Nucor. Montana Tech leading 42-35. We'll take a timeout, we'll get the other scores, and we'll be back here right after this. Back here once again to the campus of Montana Tech, the 2-minute timeouts. 3rd down and 5 here for the Digs. Lander Smith in the backfield, Blake Thelen out of the shotgun. Southern has 4 guys on the defensive front. Thelen roll out right side, pass complete, 1st down yardage and more. Logan Kennedy spins at the 35 down to the 32-yard line.
Huge.
Catch number 7 on the day for Logan.
Huge play. They stayed in tight, too tight with Torgerson at the wing and hard play action in the backfield. I mean, you have to believe defensively that they're going to try and throw the ball, and then they give you that set, right? Too tight.
Timeout.
Torgerson
Oregon,
in tight
second charge,
at the
timeout
slot
of
or
the
in
half.
the tight Z receiver. And good hard play action, and Kennedy's able to push down and release into the flats. Simple completion.
Thelen comes over, gets some love from his coach as there is a timeout. Southern Oregon uses their 2nd timeout here of the football game. The Digs are on the road next week down to Dillon. They'll be taking on the Bulldogs.
What's Kennedy got for catches? Is this his best game as Nordigger?
You know, that's a really good question.
Biggest game?
Currently has 7 catches.
Yes.
Let me see if I can dig that up here before we get back into action here. Logan Kennedy, 7 catches today. Montana Tech leading by a touchdown. I would assume it is.
Yeah, I just don't remember him. I remember him getting off to a couple good starts in games, 3 or 4 catches early and never really being in the picture again. But regardless, he's had a great game here today. Catching the ball, moving the chains, some key blocks, no doubt, both in Thielen's scramble, that kind of stuff. He's been solid, a great effort out of Logan, win, lose, or draw here today.
Out of the shotgun, Blake Thelen. Looks like pressure coming from the edges. In motion, Levi Torgerson, he'll get it. Torgerson turns upfield, gets hit hard at the 32-yard line. He'll get a yard.
Hello, good job getting down the line of scrimmage. Iona Purcell, 6', 215-pound linebacker, got a running start at Torgerson after he'd been wrapped
Timeout.
up and was
Southern
there
Oregon.
to polish him
That's
off.
their final timeout of the half.
Heck of a play by that young man.
So there goes Southern Oregon's last time out. Montana Tech will be able to burn another roughly 80 seconds. Am I right?
Yes, indeed. You move the chains.
It's
and
over.
She's over. Montana Tech leads 42-35. The other games that are underway in the Frontier Conference. College of Idaho leading Rocky 42-31. Again, that one's in Billings. About 12 minutes left in that one. And Northern has a pair of scores as Carroll College leading Northern 36-12. That one about 5 minutes remaining. So Southern out of timeouts.
Carroll's put it in coast mode too a couple times down at Arizona Christian. I watched part of that game. They were up 28-0 quick and just never really did anything else. I think it ended up 28-0, didn't it?
I think so, actually, yeah.
And I think that was early into the second quarter when it went 28-0.
Thelen hands it off. Lander Smith straight ahead down to the 28-yard line. Gain of 4. So Landers, that puts him over 100 on the day. 24 carries, I'd say about 103.
And once again, he's had to earn them all.
Yeah.
But just a fantastic effort out of him here today because, probably half of his rushes have been when everybody on the planet knew he was getting the ball. And, just hard effort, a good job up front. Those guys, tackle to tackle, tight end to tight end, believe in him, and he believes in them. And Tech's been able to run the ball effectively enough and manage the clock here today to hopefully get away with a win.
Lander Smith officially 24 carries, 101 yards.
Please reset
he
the
has
game
2
clock to
catches for 56 yards as well.
Thank you.
So the Digs call a timeout
Montana Tech, second charge timeout of the
as
half.
they let the play clock get all the way down here.
And I'm not so sure, I've told you this, say off camera quite a few times. If I was to go back and coach, and try to direct an offense. I would go to the back, out of the backfield more. I'm not so sure I wouldn't do that more with Lander Smith. He's proven he can catch the ball. And to get him out on the edge against guys that aren't 210, 230 pounds.
180?
Yeah, and see how they like that coming up and squaring up him, because he arrives in what Coach used to call bad humor.
Yeah.
And, that gets tiring. It's easy to drop your pads or go low and just get stepped over. And, it really becomes a headache tackling somebody that size when you're not near his size.
Blocking back in the backfield as well. Tight end Logan Kennedy moves left. 3rd down and 7. Handoff going to go, and Landers gets wrapped up at the 35-yard line.
I hope that didn't take him back under 100 yards.
I think maybe. So that is tackled that time by Purcell. Iona Purcell out of Hawaii. He's really had a nice ball game here for Southern. 4th down and 12, play clock ticking away.
Now I think, I don't even think you mess with the timeout unless you want it. I think you take the delay here.
Yep, agreed.
Give your punter another 5 yards of room.
Let Andrew try and knock it down into Coffin Corner and go from there. 7-point lead, Montana Tech, 42-35. Southern, number 7 in the country. Montana Tech, number 16 in the country.
Or you may not want to deal with a long snap.
Talked about the idea of the pass being basically a punt earlier. Do you step back and launch one downfield?
I was just thinking that. Sit back and throw one up into the air now near the goal line. Gets picked off.
13 seconds remaining here in the football game. Tremendous football game here today. These two always just fantastic games. Like I said, the one that always jumps out to me is that double overtime game, I think in 2012. Head coach Chuck Morrell's first game. Then you go when Southern Oregon was number 1 in the country. Montana Tech was number 9 in the country. That game in Ashland was incredible.
A little lower scoring.
I'm so sorry, what was Southern's quarterback's name? I keep bringing up.
I want to say Carr.
That's driving me crazy. Gosh, he was so good. 4th down and 12 here for the Digs. The offense stays out. So Thelen out of the shotgun, and he's going to pooch punt it. End-over-end kick, bounces at the 12, jumps in the air, rolls down to the 7, and it'll be blown dead with 3 seconds left. So 1 snap is what Southern Oregon will get at the 7-yard line. And Blake Thelen now has a punt inside the 20.
So what play do you have for 1st and 93?
I mean, do you do the idea of almost like hook and ladder to Yates? Do you have him as the second receiver, hit somebody long, and then pitch back? You go to the 6'6" receiver and have him drop it off to Yates behind and go?
I go to the ground with the ball in Yates' hand. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, and in my eyes, that's kind of the way I look at it. I go to the big receiver or the big tight end and then let him drop it back. Montana Tech has 3 safeties at midfield. 3 seconds left. The Digs, 3 guys on the defensive front, if you want to call it that, all outside tackles. Dropping back, slant route, they fake the pitch. Across the 30, they'll throw it back. Goes cross field, over the head of a lineman. Goes to the ground, and Montana Tech going to jump on the football. That's game. The Orediggers are going to get the win at home. 42-35. The number 16 team in the country has taken down the number 7 team in the country. And Montana Tech going to get a huge win as they will go to 2-1 in Frontier Conference play. Southern Oregon will fall to 1-1 in Frontier Conference play. Just a great ball game here by the Digs. As, again, Southern Oregon 1-1 in the Frontier. They'll go to 4-1 overall. Montana Tech 2-1 in the Frontier and 4-1 overall.
Yeah, it did. People were asking me what I thought about today's game. And I said Montana Tech would have to play really well to win this football game. And I thought they played a really good ball.
Executed football. As we look to wrap this thing up. Montana Tech ran 55 offensive plays, 369 yards. On the other side, Southern 62 offensive plays for 454 on the day. A couple of big turnovers. Really kind of the tail of this one. Montana Tech gets a huge fumble, and then just two big turnovers really were a huge factor.
As simple as that turnover looked, and I'm going back to the mishandled snap by Asciutto there in the backfield. That was kind of the turning point in the game. You know, Tech got another turnover right on the replayed fumble on the return, but that was the one that took Tech to a 2-score lead, and Southern Oregon was having to deal with that the rest of the game.
42-35, our final. Here is a look at our replay here throughout this ball game as we take a look at some of the highlights. As Logan Kennedy, just a huge game for him as he gets 7 catches on the day. Huge stiff arm as he gets shoved out of bounds there. Really a big day for Logan Kennedy.
Had a good day, and he's had a nice career. He's dealt with some injuries, but God, it seems like he's been here for 8 seasons. It really has.
That stiff arm is so good. So Logan Kennedy, a monster day here for Montana Tech. Then we see down here on the end, back inside to Pierce as he hauled it in. As Montana Tech, just a huge game here. Back of the end zone, Pierce gets the touchdown, his second of the year. Just talking about how deep that tight end group is. As the replay continuing along here. So let's do this. Should we want to hop into numbers, Haskey? What do you want to do here?
Yeah, we can, but I was just going to say what we don't probably talk enough about Lander Smith's success. I mean, it's one thing tackle to tackle, but their H-backs and their tight ends are so integral in their passing attack, whether they come in hip-hop motion, bring them from outside in or across the set. They do a great job. They don't miss. They stay on their feet. They get downfield, and they really work for each other.
I mean, you sit here and watch, and we've got Lander Smith after Lander Smith just going back and forth, and here's how the game started. This was the start of this bad boy on the kickoff. As here comes Levi Torgerson up the sideline. Oh, I apologize. I thought that was the return. So there I am being wrong as usual.
Here, this might be it. It was right to left on our dial.
There you go.
Remember right.
Levi. Boy, look at that gap, and he hits the seam here. Now, again, we go back and quote his brother saying he was the slow one, right?
Yeah.
Do you see anybody catching him right there?
No,
I don't see anybody catching him either. Montana Tech, again, 369 yards on the day, 55 offensive plays. Blake Thelen was 17 of 22 for 225 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception today. Receiving Logan Kennedy, 7 catches for 80 yards and a score. Lander Smith, 2 catches for 56. Levi Torgerson, 5 catches for 51, and again, a 95-yard kickoff return for a score. Wyatt Alexander, 3 catches for 38 yards for Montana Tech. On the ground, Lander Smith, 25 carries, 101 yards on the day. Ethan Renner, 3 carries for 30. And Christian Vetter, 2 carries for 15 yards. On the other side, for Southern Oregon, they ran 64 offensive plays for 494 yards. Asciutto was 29 of 39 for 309 and 2 scores. Receiving-wise, Barthel had 6 catches for 84. Yates, 6 catches for 78. Cleveland, 6 catches for 65. Let's see, on the ground, Yates ran the ball 19 times for 141. Hidalgo, 3 carries for 24 yards, and Asciutto carried the ball 3 times for 29 yards. The Digs didn't get to Asciutto, but it wasn't their main goal. Like, they wanted contain, make sure that Yates was the guy they were looking at first.
You know, other than the mishandled snap, Asciutto played a really good game of football here today. Up front, I thought they played a good game. Yates is a marked man, right? He's going to be a marked man the rest of the season.
Yep.
And Montana Tech did what they could with him. But, they played well. It was just a couple turnovers were the difference, and I thought Montana Tech took advantage of a couple opportunities, getting right back to the opening kickoff. What a great way to start the game. A couple turnovers, used modern technology for a replay that got a turnover down inside the 10-yard line. Those are the kind of things that, maybe or maybe not, do they always take advantage of that kind of stuff. But, good game top to bottom here today. Big, exciting win. and a good bounce back from a real tough loss last week down in Caldwell, Idaho.
42-35, our final. Montana Tech gets the win, and we will see what happens on Monday when we get the top 25 released again. We'll see what happens as we continue to juggle.
It's time to start looking.
And, I mean, it is.
You know, we never looked. You know, they talk about it. We never really looked until you get to the mid or second part of that season. Then you have to look.
Yeah. So a big one next week as well. Montana Tech down to Western, and then they'll be home for Simpson, who will be joining the Frontier Conference next season as a full football member. So our final here, 42-35, Montana Tech takes down Southern Oregon. For Ron Haskin, I'm Paul Panisco, our incredible crew as well, with Barrett, Jason, Tony, and the whole crew. Thanks for joining us here on a Saturday afternoon. Until next time, take care.